Okay. Welcome to the Ace Podcast, where we talk all things art, culture, and entertainment, but more specifically, nerd culture entertainment. I have to switch it up to be a little bit more accurate. I am your regular co-host, Will the Greatest, and with me, I'm my regular co-host, the real Aaron Alexander. How are you doing today, man?
I'm good, man. I'm great. Today has been a productive day. Had a good conversation with you right before we got recording here, and
Mm-hmm.
to dive into some topics, man. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm doing good. It's been a so we accidentally, some the fuck how, missed having an episode during Black History Month.
Oh shit!
But it's okay. We'll make up for it with Women's History Month, Melanated Women's March, uh,
Yeah.
as it is. But yeah, things are good. I've been finding more opportunities to touch grass, which is nice. Just going
Love that.
outside. Um, Work and auditions and wedding planning are like the main things dominating life, with trying to find stuff to do in between. I mean, there's plenty of shit to do. It's like I got books and comics and shit abound to read. So, but yeah, overall things are good. Um, yeah. How about you? Anything that you wanted to let the people know about up top?
Um, what's happening in the world of Aaron? Real reject stuff has been going great. Relationships going great. Poetry's going good. Um, no crazy updates. Just updates in the
Yeah.
world. The stuff that we've had to dive into.
Yeah. Um, yeah. I mean, even it's like I would be remiss before we get into some of the fun and not so fun topics, but to overlook the sort of civil injustices going on with like the ice raids and everything like that. So,
Yep.
rest in peace for like Keith Porter and Renee Good and Alex Preddy and everything like that. It's we got to abolish ICE in this country.
Yep.
Shit's getting scary, even for people I work with. So it is not a joke. Matter of fact, after this episode comes out, like my midterms are actually tomorrow, so I got to vote tomorrow. So make sure vote in your local elections, vote in your state elections, vote in all your elections, even if it's city council. Vote in that shit too. Read up, stay informed, make your voice heard. Harass your senators via email or phone, or use your right to protest while we still have a right to do so. But we know what they're doing to people that exercise that. But regardless, it's like it's rough, it's scary for a lot of people. It's hard. I think to be kind in a scary world, especially like I think we bombed Iran. Not we, not me. I didn't do shit.
Our people.
America. Yeah, make one thing clear. I didn't do a goddamn thing, but I believe
Yeah.
America
Part of
bombed. I think America bombed Iran in time of recording for making up some sort of horseshit reason to start squabbles, and now there's again always talks about World War III. But read, open your books. On the last day of Black History Month, my fiance and I went through a civil rights museum. we've come a long way, but haven't come far enough. It was
Yeah.
very educational, enlightening, and also very harrowing in certain regards, because it's that thing where you remember it's like, hey, they used to eat us. They turned Nat Turner into a bag. That is without an ounce of hyperbole. I posted the article about it in my story. So it's scary, but it's like you gotta read, you gotta educate yourself, you gotta keep others educated and informed. Go to ground news, do whatever it takes. But it's like we as citizens, like, you don't have to be special, you don't have to have superpowers. You just got to make one small difference, and that's all it takes. Just what Michael Jackson say? Make that change. I'm looking at the man in the mirror.
Get that change, baby. Stay informed,
Um,
stay caring, stay big
yeah,
heart.
yeah, stay smart, stay kind, and keep your community close. Because that's what we're really gonna need and make it through these next couple of years. Because shit is not getting any lighter. Um, I don't know if you had anything to add to that. It kind of jumped into a political monologue, but
No, I agree with everything you said. Yeah, abolish ICE. Justice for the people who have been wronged and murdered, and
mm-hmm.
it's scary out there. Protect your fellow Americans. I was actually watching an interesting video about the different political divides perception of America, and I feel like one side views America as a people, and the other
Mm-hmm.
views America as an idea, as a dream.
Mm-hmm.
And the ones that view it as a people, as an identity, as a heritage, are the ones who are trying to erase those that feel threatened that peoplehood of that identity.
Yeah,
And we are a collection. America is the rare, not exception, but and maybe it's not even rare because I feel like there's a lot of melting pots in the world at this point.
sure.
It's founded on the idea that we're essentially like the Avengers of countries.
Yeah, we're a soup.
Exactly, we're soup, and I think it needs to be more integrated, more embraced. That all different walks of life are what make
Mm-hmm.
this country actually great, not the good old days, but the fact that we are supposed to represent progress
Mm-hmm.
in a place of in a world that is bound in tradition. And I feel like, yeah, we're now reaching a point where that's challenged and by people's fragile egos and
Mm-hmm.
fear of erasure.
Yeah.
They're perpetuating that same fear and insecurity onto other
Mm-hmm.
people's, and it's dangerous. And I feel like it needs to be stopped. So,
Mm-hmm.
fuck ICE, fuck Trump, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
that.
Hard agree on that one. Fuck his cabinet. You know. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I guess there's no simple pivot, so we're just gonna get right into topics. I guess on a hopefully lighter note for people. We're gonna do a little bit of a trailer and news roundup. Hopefully, we'll keep it relatively short. I'm actually gonna jump around for a second. Venom is getting an animated movie.
I did
Apparently,
hear about that. Yeah. And I hope it's rated R, and I hope it's more authentic to the character.
I hope so as well. I'm trying to see if I can pull up more information about it. It seems like it's an early phase, like early pre-production. Like we don't even have a title. I believe Tom Hardy's supposed to be coming back as a producer. So
Oh, I was about to say
he,
as Venom. That's crazy.
well, I mean, he might.
So
It's
it's a
like
continuation then.
hopefully not, because we watched The Last Dance together, and boy, that was a waste of my damn time.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Nope, sure was not. Well, I mean, do you have any wants or expectations or desires for a Venom movie?
I would like them to treat Venom as a essentially a not euphemism, that's not the word, an analogy for addiction or self-destruction, in
Yeah.
that it is this thing that he uses as a form of feeling empowered, but
Mm-hmm.
in a way that corrupts him and affects the individuals and the things within his life. And when it comes to him being challenged on that, he
Oh.
has a hard time um, addressing that, or he the the symbiotic relationship is his addiction to the suit itself, but also make it still make it dark, but I'll have that tone of this being an analogy for self destruction, as the undertone. You don't need to say the quiet part out loud, but make it understandable that this is in sense what this is. I feel like it can still be a dark comedy, and I feel like there's a lot of cool things that you can do in an adaptation that maybe you have a harder time believing or doing in live action. But yeah, I feel like this is a second chance to do Venom right, and I hope they don't squander it. I hope Spider-Man's in it. And Will is not here.
Okay.
Oh, he's back.
No, can you hear me now?
Yeah, your connection's been a little choppy from time to time.
I don't know what happened because my Wi-Fi didn't say shit.
Was my connection look any weird or choppy or anything?
No, it looks fine now. It like froze there for a second, but I'm sorry.
Really?
I will cut this out in editing. I'm not sure what happened there for a second. What were you saying about Venom? About it being a metaphor for addiction and what that could represent?
Addiction and self destruction, and how that could play out in a sense. Like, let's say he gets challenged on the fact that something's wrong with him, he'll like double down. I feel like Venom should be a cautionary tale about self destruction and addiction, while also having dark comedy elements within it.
Yeah, it
Well, and
there was
Spider-Man.
another. Yes. You actually just reminded me about. God damn it! Sorry, it reset the whole fucking thing. Okay. Yeah, to add to your point. Yeah, I mean, I agree on that. It's like I'm cool with it being a metaphor for addiction. Please put Spider-Man in the movie.
So that's a big one. Has a lot of context to that character.
Yeah, including his design. It appears we have a director or directors attached, Zach Lipovsky and Adam B. Stein.
Have they worked
seeking
with anything
to not off name alone. Hold up. Oh, that's right. They did Final Destination Bloodlines. So the newest one from last year, which was a movie that I did enjoy. They have also done a movie called Freaks from 2018 that I have not seen. So hopefully it is an R-rated animated project. And producers include Amy Pascal, Avi Arad, Mott Tolmack, the standards for anything Spider-Man, and Tom Hardy. Yeah, that's, I think, as much as we know about it now, and that's probably all the opinions we have on it at present.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to go. We just have things you would like to see, things you would wish for, but that gets a little easier as time goes on to kind of get an idea of what it is we're actually getting, and we're
Yeah. We had another announcement. We are getting 2 separate G.I. Joe movies. One from Dana McBride, and another one that appears to be penned by, how did they describe him in the articles? Formerly canceled individual, Max Landis.
Is that what they said?
I know a couple that have said it that way.
Formerly canceled is a hilarious description.
It is very hilarious.
Canceled.
Yeah, that might have been what it was previously. I don't know if they used previously, but it's maybe notoriously canceled. Oh no, that's what Hollywood Reporter said. Max Landis, whose career imploded during #MeToo, returned with GI Joe movie at Paramount. God damn. Entertainment Weekly. Paramount hires writer Max Landis for GI Joe movie years after sexual assault allegations derailed his career. Gizmodo. Paramount's new GI Joe movie plans sound dumb as hell. They are raking them over the coals.
They don't know
And
what the fuck they're doing.
Deadlines is the most normal one. 2 different GI Joe movies in early works at Paramount between Danny McBride and Max Landis.
I didn't know Danny McBride was one interested in something like that, but two had an interest in writing that kind of thing. I think I knew he was a writer, but that's such an interesting
Well,
choice.
it seems interesting for the genre because, well, did he do the Halloween movies, or am I thinking of someone else?
Is it the same
I
Danny
know,
McBride, the actor? Is he also just a writer?
yeah, he did Righteous Gemstones. He was a
Oh,
writer. I
fucking
mean, it was
A.
his show, but yeah, he has a
It's.
pretty strong writing background as well.
Did you know
Yeah,
he was the
Eastbound and
writer
Down.
of Exorcist Believer?
Okay, so if it was what I thought it was, yeah. He wrote on the Halloween trilogy.
That's crazy, comedian.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you knew that. Yeah. I thought I
No,
was remembering correctly, so I was right.
that is wild. Okay,
Yeah.
Danny
So
McBride, fascinating.
yeah. So it's like him being on GI Joe isn't the biggest stretch because I know his range can go into other genres. Like, I mean, going from comedy to horror is different than, I mean, well, going from a genre to another genre is different, but it doesn't seem like a huge leap where it's like if you can do, I mean, horrors usually have lower budgets. Righteous Gemstones seemed like it was pretty expensive. So an action military piece, especially for McBride, who does pretty good, I'd say, with things like satire, I think would be interesting. I feel like that would be like a fun introspective. I could see that being like a more traditional like action comedy, a la like 21 Jump Street, or even action movie in the style of like the Avengers, where it's a little bit more broad appeal type, like with some jokes here that like a sort of like mid 2010s team up movie, like a more traditional one. Um, so that I'm fine with. The interesting one is Landis. Um, okay, how do you feel about Landis being hired?
He's notoriously problematic.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think he's. I've only the only work I know of that I've seen is Chronicle. I
Mm-hmm.
like Chronicle a lot, but I can't speak to his other
Yeah.
work. Did he work on that movie Bright? Was that him?
He penned the original screenplay that got chopped and screwed into Bright.
Ah,
Because I've heard him talk about what his original version of Bright was, and it did not involve races of orcs being metaphors for black people.
oh wow. Okay,
He does explicitly say that that was never in the plans. That was a David Ayer choice,
interesting.
which I'm not surprised by. Yeah, his I think metaphor was more about uh, class and culture, if I recall how he described it. But
Fascinating. Yeah, he. Okay, because a lot of his adaptations, other than Chronicle,
I know he did the Dirk Gently show that apparently people were saying was pretty good.
which
And he
show?
did, what is that?
The Dirk. Dirk
Dirk Gently, based off the oh, what's the dude's name? Um,
I'm seeing it. The
the
Holistic
guy that did
Detective
Hitchhiker's Guide.
Agency. I'm
Yeah, Holistic Detective Agency, based off the novels. And I think he did another one
created
with
by
Chloe Grace Moretz.
Landis. Oh wow,
Mhm.
I did not.
Yeah, I think that was fully him. He had that movie with Chloe Grace Moretz that I believe he was a writer on. I think that's his last major project
Yeah, and it did
that got
not well
released.
received. He co-wrote that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's
Um,
largely been absent. When did he? Did the allegations and stuff start coming out?
it was around the Me Too time, so I want to say 20. Hold on, let me just look. Because Wikipedia has information that we can learn from. I want to say it was like 2018.
Mm.
Let's see. Allegations started in December 2017 from Anna Akana. Uh, there were also some other comments. It seemed like it really picked up in 2019, summer of 2019. He had an ex girlfriend that uh, tweeted about him, claiming him to be a serial rapist, gaslighter, physical and psychological abuser.
Oh no. Okay, I vaguely
Um,
remember this. Fuck.
yeah. This was pre-pandemic. I remember it being pre-pandemic. I didn't remember how long ago it was. Let's see, August of 21. He wrote an essay, "Why I Never Responded to My Public Shaming." I think I remember reading that way back when it came out. I think that even got mixed receptions um, from people. I mean, even if you go, I know he has a YouTube channel. Even if you go in his comments, it still comes up very regularly. It doesn't seem like a topic that he's shied away from. It seems like he has been transparent, but unlike somebody else that we will talk about in a little bit as I'm remembering it. Let's see. It seems like he's at least been transparent about it, and I can't speak to his character. I can't speak to who he is. At the end of the day, one, I don't want anyone getting hurt. That's my first priority. My second one is like, I hope that he is a better person. That doesn't mean that you get access to the same sort of like wider community, wider culture. It doesn't mean that people have to forgive him.
No.
It doesn't mean that the people that have made these allegations towards him and everything like that have to forgive him. At the end of the day, I just want people to be better. It's one thing to hold somebody accountable for wrongdoing. I don't think anyone has to give him grace. No one has to accept an apology from him. I am just hoping that he has done work and is a better person, and that this will hopefully show and start a new era. I'm not saying he even needs to be redeemed. If you don't want to see the movie, if you don't want to support the movie because he writes it, don't.
Yeah.
Go see the Danny McBride one, or don't see it at all because it's Paramount. Because it's fucking Paramount. Paramount WB, as it will be known probably moving forward. But yeah, I just want people to be safe. And he's still a controversial figure. The first allegation was 17. The most recent, the latest one was around 2019. So it's been 5.5-ish years. Internet doesn't forget. But maybe somebody in Hollywood finally changed for the better. I hope and pray.
Yeah, hopefully. I hope he's gone through a lot of rehab and therapy and self
Yeah.
reflection in this time. That's the optimist in me.
Yeah.
At least
Yeah. Same.
change. But yeah, I just hope
Oh.
he's gotten some care and some serious reflection on about his
Mm-hmm.
actions.
Yeah. Yeah. Or I guess what's alleged from said actions, so that we don't get sued.
That part.
Um, yeah, I mean it's weird because I do think he was like a very, very talented writer. Um, I didn't see a crazy amount of his stuff, but it's like his Superman American Alien was is one of my favorite Superman books. So it sits in a weird position. It's like being a Neil Gaiman fan. It's kind of awkward. Um, but yeah, just we will really have to see who's directing it and what the cast is going to look like. We need to see how far these two projects get into production, because like the internet response to this alone might kill the Landis one. And
Yeah.
I know we're supposed to be getting a G.I. Joe Transformers crossover, so I wonder if that's the McBride one. Like, I wonder, or are these even tied to that? Is also my question.
I'm wondering if, yeah, if these two have anything to do with each other, if
Yeah.
if they're doing a similar things to. Oh, have you did you watch 28 Days Later, Bone Temple?
No, I'm working my way through the series. I've seen days. I started weeks so that I can watch the first one, so that I can watch Bone Temple.
I
But I've heard great things about Bone Temple.
They're both 28 years and Bone Temple are great. But I say that to say, Danny. Well, I think Alex Garland wrote both of them, but
Mm-hmm.
the thing Bone Temple came out almost exactly 1 year before 28 years, or 1 year after 28 years later came out.
Mm.
Danny Boyle directed 28 years later, and then Nia DaCosta
Yeah.
directed Bone Temple, and it was
Bone Temple.
back to back. And it's in the way that it was done, it seems like those two movies were shot back to back, and they just passed the baton between between weeks. So I'm wondering if they're working on movies that are written supposed to be consecutively, so that they can do something more
and
form in film.
that'd definitely square off some theatrical releases. Oh, that could be another one too. They might be trying to hit two markets if they do one theatrical and one streaming.
Or they do,
Because like
one animated, one theatrical.
Because like we don't. I don't think we know too many other details beyond the fact that they're just both writing that are working on them. It makes me curious. I'm not going to act like I'm the biggest G.I. Joe fan. I'm not going to lie. They're trying to make fetch happen. I think that's the tough thing, is especially now. I think most Americans are maybe, I don't know, we might be a little disillusioned with the propaganda of the American military, which I could definitely see lampooned by a Boyle and Landis for that matter. I think they both could have some choice opinions, but being under Paramount, they can only do so much. But hey, whatever. Do we want to talk about some trailer stuff, or do we want to talk about that last bit of movie news?
Let's do that one.
Okay. So this makes me mad in a very unique way that I'll explain in a second. So Jonathan Majors has been announced to be collaborating with DailyWire on a new film. Let's see. Do we have any details on the? That's the first bit. I don't think we have a title. Do we? Did I spell his name wrong? Also, you don't care. I'm looking at Deadline as we're talking about this. Yeah. Do you have any initial thoughts while I try and pull up an article that explains it? It's called. Oh, that's from last year. Never mind.
Do we have a? Is there a title for it?
Let's see. We know it's. I don't think it has a title. We do know that it's filming in South Carolina. It is an action movie. It's from Kyle Rankin, the director of another Daily Wire release, who did Run Hide Fight. So he's directing and he wrote it. The title, plot, and other cast are being kept under wraps, but the story is said to be in the vein of 80s and 90s action movies like Red Dawn and Toy Soldiers, which were both about teenage boys banding together to invade countries. produced by DailyWire and Bonfire Legend, and a bunch of their regular producers. I know there was a rumor going around saying that it was supposed to be like an anti-woke Sinners. I didn't see anywhere that validated that. That's why even
anti-woke Sinners. What the fuck do you mean by that?
I know that, yeah, because Sinners isn't even woke to what the Clan Juan in that version. But also, it's like I'm only skeptical of that one because it seems even a little too bizarre, even for Daily Wire, because it's like, okay, as weird as it may sound to be to sound, Sinners actually wasn't really on that many like of the racist, cringy edgelord radars, at least not in my ecosystem, because I don't let them in there. But it's like I don't think they were talking about it that much. Like black people talked about it because it had to do with us, but I don't think I heard anything about like Daily Wire calls Sinners woke because they probably didn't see it because there's black people in
it. Yeah, I didn't hear any voices contend against Sinners because
I didn't hear like Critical Drinker or Nerdrotic talking about it. Fuck those guys. Sorry, go ahead.
Did talk about it?
I don't actually. I think Critical Drinker did like 3 months after release or something, is what I heard. Because unlike Rob from Comics Explained, I don't follow those losers.
Yeah, no, neither do I. But I think that's an interesting claim about Sinners or whatever this movie he's working on. I have mixed feelings on it because on one hand, I think it's disappointing that he's at this place where he's taking the Daily Wire money because like if Hollywood will let me in, I'm just going to go where the money is. That's what it feels like because it feels like I gotta secure the bag kind of a move. Maybe he does fall in line with those more conservative beliefs. I don't know. So or whatever their perception of where conservatism now.
Yeah.
Another part of me is like, look, were there some problematic things that happened? Yes. But
yeah, of course.
On the other hand, I also feel like there are actors and people in Hollywood whom have done a lot of bad things that is knowledge, just not publicly talked about.
People, they're in the Epstein files.
For example, did you know
the president?
Did you know that allegedly Leonardo DiCaprio, David Blaine, and Tobey Maguire in the mid-90s were living that party crazy Wall Street life, and they made
the Brat Pack,
the P Pack, or the P.
Oh, that's what they were. They're the people. Okay, they're
or Pussy Patrol. That's what they would. Or something, like the Pussy Pack or the Pussy Patrol or something like that. That's what they.
I know they had a name, but yeah, sorry, as you were saying.
And apparently they, from what they say, made a short film in a night where it was like it was Leo and Toby, and it was like 1995, and it was like really like misogynistic and harassing women, and just made them look really bad. And they fought really hard to get the movie buried because they're like, it wasn't supposed to be a feature film. Leo was like, I would never do a feature film in a night, and the shit barely saw the light of day, and their careers thrived on afterwards. He went on to do Titanic. Toby went on to be Spider-Man. David Blaine went on to be one of the most renowned magicians in the world. And those is knowledge. Nobody gives him shit for it. They harassed this one actress who had a man, and they kept calling their house, and we can call whoever we want to call. But I think it's like it's one of those things where black people in the limelight are held to a higher scrutiny than white men are. And I think in that, because maybe he couldn't get the roles he wants to get, and I don't know this man, I could be very wrong about that.
Yeah,
I feel like he did this because he didn't have the choice to get these roles that he really wants to get, and like this is my best route. I'm like, shit, for him it was either this or Tyler Perry, you know.
Which I mean, Tyler Perry will get you paid, but then you'll basically be
In his role,
damn near blacklisted from Hollywood proper.
unless you're one of the ones that got in early who can work in both worlds.
Yeah. It's like, you know, in the world of, because like he's worked with a good number of like I'd say black famous A-list actors, but he got them in the middle of their careers, not, you know, and they got in early in his career, so they were able to like bounce in and bounce out. The only one that's really stuck around, I'd say, is like Taraji and a handful of others.
And I wonder if it's a thing of certain creators not wanting to work with him, or is it the studios not wanting to touch him?
I feel like it's the studios. Because we talked about like when the trial was happening and everything like that, where it's just like, hey, you know, there were things that he wasn't found guilty of in court, but there were things that he was found guilty of in court. He went on a weird ass media circuit, especially leading up and following his marriage to Megan Good, and so okay. And this ties into what you were saying about the political leanings, and you know, I think part of the disappointment is because he was on Lovecraft Country, which is a show I believe, I know it was done by a black woman. I'm not sure if Misha Green is queer or not, but I do remember one of the plot lines in that involved like a queer man, and obviously the narrative of Lovecraft Country, the show, has to do with like black people engaging with racism and like, you know, cosmic horrors and things of that nature. And so, you know, it's like, again, it's not to say that like black conservatives and black Republicans and blah, blah, blah don't exist. It's more so if you are to be in the arts and engage in a notorious project that garnered him a lot of attention. It was how a lot of people got exposed to him. You know, it's like I heard of him through Last Black Man in San Francisco. I really learned of him through like Lovecraft and saw him in other roles and parts. And, you know, we were both really rooting for him. No Tyra Banks. And so his association, I think, with some of his projects, I think gave us the presumption that his politics were at least around the middle. You know, because it's like, hey, you seem very pro-black. Like, you know, you won this award and we're calling Megan Good your Coretta, because I don't know why that was his go-to. What a very strange...
He's calling Grace Jabari that she needs to be his...
Yeah, he was calling Grace Jabari that first, and then later on, Megan Good is like, even in an interview, I found my Coretta. What a strange... Coretta is doing barrel rolls in her grave, God rest her soul. But yeah, it's just like your proximity in terms of what you've taken as an artist make you seem pro-black, and then you align and go and do a job for a production company that is explicitly and loudly and vehemently racist.
Yeah.
and white supremacist, run by a little dweeb that never had a successful screenplay, so he just throws money at other people because they're backed by, you know, rich assholes. Because you know that's it's partially their audience, it's partially probably the Koch brothers and some others. So it's like it's disappointing in that. But the thing that makes me particularly mad, so and I don't remember if I told you this in particular, but I've mentioned it to a couple friends. So there was a Black mental health conference in where I live at the weekend of Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking about going because it was like 30 minutes out from my family's house, so I could have just stayed there. So I was really considering going. I was back and forth. The tickets were stupidly fucking expensive. And what I started laughing my ass off back in December, because they were doing this big buildup for who the keynote speakers were. Can you guess who the keynote speakers were?
Wait, what did you say?
Can you guess who the keynote speakers were for the Black Mental Health Conference that was on Valentine's Day last month?
I'm guessing white people?
No. It was Jonathan Majors and Megan Good.
Oh, God. All right. What?
So not only was I perplexed by that, and I didn't go, mind you. So I'm gonna be transparent. I wound up not going. I saved myself the $400. I had other shit going on to spend it on. I got other stuff coming up, so I didn't go. So what made me explicitly mad is you were up here showing your big black ass talking about empowerment and looking out for our people and our community and trying to be a positive role model, looking out specifically for like men's mental health in the black community. And then 2 weeks later, announced that you aligned yourself with a cabal of white supremacist losers.
Yep.
That is what makes me mad, like specifically. Because not 2 weeks prior, because I think the announcement was the 26th, he was here on the 14th. Fucking Saturday. 2 weeks later, you gallop your happy ass hips in a lot in even if by association, it's just a terrible PR look. I don't know how he comes back from this. And like, mind you, he was like for like a smooth year, and it's like was the PR shitty redemption tour that you tried to go on and drag your wife Megan Good with you so poorly received, or were the checks so thin? Because like I still think he is a dynamite talented actor. And also, you still have to eat the court of public opinion and the legal court accountability. So it's like, do I think he's the worst man alive? No. Do I think he should be held accountable if he wound up putting his hands on somebody and he shouldn't have been putting his hands on her in an inappropriate or violent or abusive manner? Yes. If that is the case, you do the time, you account for it. I would not wish this, I think, on like my worst enemy, because like he was running around with his wife like, I'm married, this is strong black love, we're a strong black couple. One of his longest performances, and he almost got me at I forget what award show it was, but when he was winning, he was boo-hooing his fucking tears. It's like, I can't believe the support that I'm having from the community, and all of you are here, and the love that I feel. I almost believed him if I didn't know how actors act. But it's like I'm angry, I'm hurt, but I'm really in the same camp of you, where I'm disappointed. Where it's like, as somebody that is trying to develop his skills, like as an actor, as a talent, I think he's admirable, but as a person, I don't know where to land, and so I generally choose not to really engage, and it sucks. And everything I'm describing is explicitly my parasocial relationship with the performed Hollywood identity of Jonathan Majors TM. I do not know this nigga
Right.
as a person. I do not know what he's like. I don't know what he's going through. I don't know what he's like as a father or as a husband or whatever the fuck. I just know the very scant bit I see in the news. And I honestly hope he steps down from it. I hope they get some other fucking, I was about to say a litany of slurs, but I'm not going to. I hope they just get some other dumb ass motherfucker to fill this slot. Because John, you may have allegedly done some things that aren't well or aren't becoming. But like we talked about with Landis, it's like, try to believe in redemption, try to believe that somebody can do better and work to do better. But this is frankly embarrassing. And the fact that your manager even posited this as an idea to you, you should fire their ass for that.
Mm-hmm.
Your representation need their ass beat. It's like, well, Ben Shapiro's offering, it's like the Riyadh Comedy Festival situation all over again, where it's like, well, the Saudi government is giving all this money. Are you going to come perform?
Right. It feels like a move that lacks integrity, given what...
That was the word I was thinking of. Sorry, go ahead.
No, given the position that you've been in, given the type of man you claim you want to be, And even in that, hearing his tapes with Grace Jabari recently, again for the first time since everything went down, he
Mm-hmm.
sounded. Have you seen the movie Marty Supreme yet?
Yeah, I saw Marty Supreme. We talked about Marty
Oh
Supreme,
yeah,
didn't we? Yeah, we talked about it last episode.
So even in
Yeah.
his thing with Grace Jabari, shout out to my friend D. She brought it to my attention that he sounded like Marty Supreme in that tape. He's like,
I'm a great man.
yeah,
I am a great man. I am a if you have to call yourself a great that shit still lives rent free in my head. It's low key funny.
it is.
Like it's not funny because you can tell that like Grace is crying.
Yeah,
But I can't imagine somebody yelling at me that I am a great man. You're supposed to be my Coretta. That would have made me fall.
Bring my people forward, and there's a lot riding on me. I'm like, this is not that type of move. If you feel like you're trying to be that type of nigga.
Also, I'm sorry, bro. No disrespect to white women. Broadly speaking, we can argue a historical context on a separate conversation. But like, you can't call your white girlfriend your Coretta.
No, that's your first mistake.
That's like don't bring the King dynasty into this. That's like me, calling my fiance is like, oh my god, you're my Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Did anybody ever make the joke of calling this man Martin Luther King?
I swear somebody did when he was first saying this. Not you might have actually been the one that did it. This is probably where I heard it from.
Maybe because I was like, I feel like that would have been a thing, especially around the time all this was happening. Because that's kind of crazy. So
yeah, hearing them tapes back this time later is honestly a little bit wild. I'm like, damn, I almost forgot this nigga was just saying shit.
Yeah, and it speaks to his hubris, his ego, that he felt like he was in a position of being untouchable while being new in the game, and was quickly humbled. Unfortunately so. I mean, the girl felt unsafe and all the shit that came out afterwards. But yeah, and it's just disappointing to see a move like this being made. He hasn't made a new film in some time, and maybe he's been hungry for roles. I don't know if Broadway wasn't paying him the money he wanted, but I also heard around the time all this stuff was coming out, that apparently he was someone hard to work with, and he was like very he was method, and like even on the Harder They Fall, he would roll around town still doing his accent and going on his horse and stuff. So I don't know, maybe that plays a part into it, and the part that we're not talking about on a more publicized level. But it is disappointing because we have actors like great actors like Denzel Washington, who were very selective with the roles that they picked to pave the way for the type of career that they have now. And I felt like he was on that run for a minute, but doing something like this is not the move. It's not the move.
No, this ain't it, John. There is still time.
You can back
out. Yeah, you can back out, bro. Actors back out. Matter of fact, speaking of Marty Supreme, Odessa Azion, she just backed out of a role where she was cast to play a half Latina person, and after the backlash, she's like, "Oh shit, I didn't know they were Latina. I'm stepping down. It's okay. Yeah. Step down, bro. It's one. You will never be bigger than the program. I hate to say, it doesn't mean that you can't change things, but Denzel don't act like he's bigger than the program. Neither does Leo. And Chris Nolan don't do it. Ryan Coogler don't do it.
And listen. What all we know about the movie is that it's based on, it's like giving an homage to the 80s and 90s. It's an action movie, and that it's being produced by Ben Shapiro. For all we know, maybe he loved the script, but even if you like the script, it's about the principle behind who the type of messaging that's being put out there that could be harmful for your people, whom you say you want to be great for. If granted, I don't know the story, but still, the principle behind the company itself.
Yeah, Yeah, because at the end of the day, and I don't want to minimize the value of art, especially in a time like now where we really need artists and creatives, and art and creativity is immensely devalued, especially with how it can interact with other fields. At that same token, it's art, brother, and you can
Mhm.
choose what art you do and don't engage with, and this is art that is funded by a white supremacist political agenda. If you claim to be for the black community the same way you do, I'm not saying that you have to be Martin Luther King, but Martin Luther King wouldn't do this shit.
Right.
Martin Luther King probably wouldn't have taken brand deals, but Martin Luther King for damn sure wouldn't align himself with the Daily fucking
And
Wire.
listen, you know what's so funny? Because I
That's the,
can,
what will Martin do? You know,
you know, what'd you say?
what will Martin do? He's so focused on his woman being a Coretta. Are you being a Martin, brother?
Exactly. But listen. Here's my, now that we're talking about it and getting into it, my brain is
Mm-hmm.
thinking, how does Jonathan Majors rationalize this decision to himself? And I imagine his own ego and hubris,
That's a great point.
his own ego and hubris is like, I'm the bridge between my black brother and the right, and this
Yep.
film is going to unite America
I'm a.
because
I'm gonna go over there and follow them so that I know what they're saying, so that I can know. It's like, see, because if I have a seat at the table, I can be the bridge. We can reach hands across the aisle. My brother, those hands are covered in shit. Do not grab that
I know you
hand.
doubt me now, but know this and know it again. I am a great man.
Great. With great men comes great responsibility.
And smart fucking decision making, and this is not
Right,
one of
like,
those decisions.
and because my first thought is, I'm like, Jonathan, why? My immediate second thought is like, what the fuck does Megan think?
That part.
Because like she's low key black royalty. That is his wife now. They married.
Mm-hmm.
They locked in theoretically together.
You know what's crazy? I just looked that up on IMDb. No, I looked it up on Google. And you know how they normally list their spouses? They are not listed each other's spouses on Google.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought that I'm pretty sure they are legally married. I don't know if she took his
Bro,
name.
look it up.
But
I just looked it up right now. I was like, that's wild to me. It has her previous husband, but not Jonathan Majors.
I mean, now I'm wondering if it's there or not.
But apparently, if you look it up, it says they're married.
Yeah. It has Devon. I remember. We all remember Devon Franklin. Those that know. Okay, yeah, it's on her Wikipedia, but it is not on Google. I guess because it's too recent.
No, Google's quick with the shit. So that's so weird. Because
That's
they got
very
married
weird.
last year, right? Or 2 years ago?
It was 2025.
Oh, okay.
You're right. Yeah, because Megan is. We're protective of Megan, which I know that's why it was like probably part of the plan.
Yeah.
Get a very likable, like Megan has not had any reason for us to have beef with our community. You know, she married that pastor and was a pastor's wife for a time. Now, also, you know, like in a separate conversation that we were having, it's like a grown ass woman can also make grown ass woman decisions. She knows who she's with.
Yep.
She knows the man that I hope she knows the man she married better than I know him. So, sis, good luck. That ain't my fucking husband. You know, it's like, but yeah, I don't even know how you bring that to the crib, because the way I would get cussed out, rightfully so, by my family and friends, if I'm like, hey everybody, I finally like booked a really major acting gig for a major production company. Oh, cool. Who? Well, okay, now before you say anything, just relax, okay?
That has the worst thing to follow.
Right, you know it's about to be some ridiculous shit. It's like, okay, now they're a little controversial, and it's like, well, who is it? Like an indie company? Is it Miramax? Like, is it A24? Like, who, you know, is it a Sam Raimi company? Is it somewhere in Yugoslavia? Okay, well, just chill. it's the Daily Wire. But it's like, no, like, you would probably fly across the country and stare me in the face like, what happened? Are you in dire straits?
Brother, blink twice.
Did the aliens come? Like, it's like, do you need money?
Right. Are you okay?
I would rather he have started a Kickstarter or a GoFundMe and just saying, look, I need 100 bands. and just put in and just having the details like it was either this or the Daily Wire. It'd be like, cool, I will send you $10-20, brother. Good luck, Godspeed.
It was the fact that
he should have did that Tyler Perry movie.
I was literally about to talk about Tyler Perry. I'm like, do you think he even went to Tyler Perry? And do you feel like he read a script and he was like, this is beneath me, and then went to Daily Wire? Like, I hope not.
Tyler has a script right for him.
Oh, for sure.
For I don't know, the Uncle Joe prequel or some shit. And like
play young Uncle Joe.
That would actually be hilarious.
Oh my god!
I would much rather watch Jonathan Majors in Young Uncle Joe the movie. Actually, that would get me to watch the movie. I won't even hold you. That would unironically get me to be like, well, let's see what happens when you get a mediocre script writer and a talented actor together,
elevate,
knowing that they filmed that shit in 3 days flat.
I hope they call it Tyler Perry's Youncle Joe.
Youncle Joe.
That's just a dumb name, but
yeah, no, John, go. I hate to say it, go to Tyler. Go to Tyler, bro. This ain't it. You want your wife to be a Coretta, then you have to be a Martin.
Yeah.
And that includes getting your ass beat. And I may not be able to do it physically, but I can for damn sure do it verbally.
You know who I'm curious about? Because of the run he's having because of the success of Sinners. He had his directorial debut with Creed 3. And Michael B. Jordan, his last major role in co-star. And they talked on that red carpet or that award ceremony to Brothers.
It was like a month before because we were talking about it. I was like, fuck.
Now I'm like, what's that relationship like? And with how desperate.
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah. And with all that stuff coming out, right. Was there ever a point where Jonathan Majors was like, can you help a brother out? Can you put me in another role? Can you help me like get my career back?
Yeah. Because it's like
you have the connections technically. Because that through Michael B. and you being in Creed, are there go have some semblance of connection to Ryan Coogler. Now, and I have to imagine.
I know they talked.
Could you imagine?
I know they did.
Probably some variation of the Sinner script that had like Jonathan Majors in it.
My conspiracy theory that I will forever hold on to is that he was in the planning phase, but not in the scripting phase. So it's like when Ryan was writing it, he knew he had a rough idea of who he wanted. And my conspiracy theory is that he was either Cornbread or Smoke.
Either who or Smoke?
He was either Cornbread or Smoke. He was probably Cornbread. Because imagine Jonathan Majors' big ass with them glowing eyes.
Maybe he may, but I don't know. I feel like Cornbread, the way he was written in the film we have now, feel like it's supposed to be a bigger dude. But I can also see a world where
because there's big
smoker stack.
There's like big, and then there's big. Yeah. And I'm blanking on the brother's name, but who they got for great.
Listen, but if
they're different kinds of big, is what I'm saying.
But hear me out. At the point Jonathan Majors is at, where his career was on the rise, I don't think he would have settled for anything other than a co-lead.
Yeah.
So, but Cornbread
Yes,
is very much a supporting role. It's not a co-lead.
very much so.
So
I
I
agree.
imagine he would have been either Smoke or Stack, or maybe he would have been the twins.
I don't think it would have been both. I think that my
With this
thought
nigga,
is
with this nigga was
he.
about to play 50 different versions of the same man. You don't think he would try to do a twofer?
I'm not saying he wouldn't try, but I think out of respect for Mike, he'd be comfortable being a fraternal twin. But it's like, but again, my conspiracy theory is, with no way to prove it, is that it was in the thought phase. There was a moment of writing, as you do, because at least for me when I write scripts and stuff, it's like I see it play out. I know who's playing who. So if I'm writing something for me, I see me. If I'm writing somebody for somebody else, I see somebody else. If I'm writing stuff, something for you, I see you. So it's like I do think there was a point where maybe for one of the twins, it's like, okay, it's like, Mike could be both, or it could be John and Mike, and then the shit went left. He's like, Mike it is. Mike is being both. And it's like there might have been, I think John probably hit Mike up. Mike is like, it's like, I love you, but you're nuclear.
Yeah.
It's like it's a tough spot to be in where it's like I got my career, but that doesn't mean I don't love you. And sometimes, unfortunately, that love has to also involve a level of accountability and self-preservation. Or hey, bro, did you really do this? Like is what the street's saying real shit? And it probably had to have a real ass conversation. It's not my business whether or not they're friends. But if their relationship is as close as like we were exposed to it, as just general people, then I would imagine that they still have some sort of like connection or communication here or there. But John maybe respects the boundaries of what's necessary because he needs to focus on himself. Honestly, he can't. His ego got him into a fair deal of trouble at this point. So the least he could do is leave his homeboy out of it.
Yeah.
Like it's like if you really fuck with me, focus on you. That's the best thing you could do for right now is focus on you, focus on your life, focus on therapy, focus on your career. It's like and for a time being, he probably loves him from a distance.
Yeah.
Or he might float some managers and shit his way, or maybe a script or two or something like that.
Yeah, I was trying to look to see if Michael B. Jordan followed him on Instagram, but I don't think Jonathan Majors has social media.
Oh yeah, he probably does. Which smart, very smart.
Probably a good idea, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to beat a dead horse. Do you have any other thoughts before you move on to
I think
trailers?
I think we can move forward.
Okay. We got do a quick trailer roundup. Well, I guess reveal. Let's start with the picture first. So God of War has been drip feeding its casting announcement over the last month, and we got our first look at it because it's going to Amazon, I believe. And it looks fine to me. I haven't played the new God of War games. Like I'm familiar with them. I'm familiar with like the talent behind it. But the internet is pissed. They hate it. The creator of the original God of War, what's his name? David or Davis or something like that. Condolences to this man whose name's on. Hold up, I got it in front of me. David Jaffe. He says that he ridiculed the photo, saying it's so dumb, a terrible image. I'm sure everybody's trying real hard. He also said maybe they're like, well, what we really want to. Oh yeah, Ryan Hurst is playing Kratos, and Callum Vinson is playing Atreus. Jaffe noted that he's not particularly interested in the show, and the thing he found most offensive is Kratos looking, quote, stupid and taking issue with the product in Atreus' hair. It's just weird the way the whole image looks. He looks like he's kind of a very confused little boy with way too much product in his hair. None of these characters look very interesting or appealing. They just look dumb. Like if this is God of War Dumb and Dumber edition.
So my question is this guy the guy
Okay.
who originally created the God of War games, or he's the guy behind the reboot?
Yeah, that might be my mistake in quoting him. Let me look. Let's see, video game designer David Jaffe. Um, he
Because
did.
the new God of War is
He did.
essentially a spinoff of the old ones.
Yeah, he did the original God of War 1 and 2.
Okay, so I have to imagine that the one this is based on, he may not be a fan of either because he wasn't involved with the reboot. Because Kratos
I
originally he was
I wouldn't be
originally rocking
surprised.
that soul patch, if you remember.
Yeah,
Mm.
how well I recall, and he was voiced by old boy from Living Single, which
Mm-hmm.
that's another minor aside. We don't talk too much about gaming news, but two exciting bits of gaming news. We're getting a God of War remake for the trilogy, and for me personally, Dot Hack is coming back. Which baby, my favorite video game series that nobody knows what that shit is, but Dot Hack Zero is coming, baby. Sorry. Um, what do you think? Because the internet seems to be internet, and the only thing I really see is that it might be kind of like the Superman photo, where I think it's just like a not great angle of the two of them, and it will probably look better in motion and in other photos. But
That's what I'm
I
thinking.
mean, it looks fine. It just looks like Kratos and his kid. It's not, it's it, people going to complain regardless, just like they did with The Last of Us. And Last of Us was more inaccurate. This looks closer.
Yeah, I think it looks close. I think people were thinking maybe the makeup looks a little weird, or it's just a bad
Mm-hmm.
angle, and I feel like you really can't judge it
Yeah,
until you see it in motion.
yeah,
Because
and I think Ryan Hurst is also wearing a bald cap, if I'm not mistaken.
is he really? Let me re-look at this picture.
I could be wrong, but I thought I heard that he was wearing a bald cap for this one, but I'm not sure.
Oh, I'm looking at the guy who voices him recently. That's why I couldn't place him. He's African American and Cherokee.
Yeah, well, they're both black, both Kratoses.
I know both Kratos are black, but the new guy is half Cherokee, half African American, half black. Which I'm
That
like,
explains his hair. I was wondering why his hair was so silky every time I saw him. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I got my little bit here and there,
because
but
he looks black, but he also looks like he's mixed with something. Like he's very like a nigga.
he looked remixed.
You look remixed. I'm like, you a very unique
he look,
looking nigga, bro.
yeah.
But I think it's cool. He has a great voice. But yeah, it's gonna be a
Mm-hmm.
weird. It's gonna be a funny thing, and I talked a little bit about this on Real Rejects today. It's gonna be a funny thing hearing a white man come out of the look of Kratos for the
Yeah.
first time, even though I guess it's
Yeah.
supposed to
I know
be.
I know the joke for a bit was just like, well, I mean, he's covered in ash. Maybe we could have a black Kratos. I'm just like, I mean, I wouldn't stop nobody from doing that.
Hey, I wouldn't hate the shit.
I wouldn't hate it. Like, there's I think somebody put in our one of the group chats where it was like, they were doing like different companies' version of God of War, and the Netflix one had Terry Crews. I'm like, I wouldn't be mad at it. I wouldn't have seen that type of Terry Crews range in particular very often, but I wouldn't hate Terry Crews as this, mourning, troubled father going on a journey of self discovery and acceptance. At least from my understanding of 2018. Honestly, the biggest issue is that they started with God of War 2018 just to get like views up because it's the more popular one and not OG God of War. Fucking like what 5 games of backstory?
Well, I know they're about to remaster the original ones.
Yeah, I know they're doing the trilogy, but like if you're gonna do an adaptation, why not just start at the back? Like, matter of fact, they just released another side-scrolling prequel game called Sons of Sparta, um, but that's the actor's name. T.C. Carson was the original Kratos. But I'm just like that's still the weirdest decision to me. Is like, and I don't know. I guess that'll keep the season order short, since it'll probably be like maybe if you do half the game or so per season, or if you do a game per season, you could do 2 seasons. Realistically, it'll probably be like half a season per season, so you can knock it out in 4. It's a little quicker than doing like a bunch of games that also involve a lot of, blood and guts and sex and sexual violence and stuff like that. But I mean, Twisted Metal's a series, so. But you have any other God of War thoughts? Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. No, I think we just got to see what the show looks like. We just got to see a trailer at the very least, and then make our judgment from there. Or another image. Maybe this is one of those cases where they released an image because set images are about to come out, so maybe we'll get a larger look at him anyway.
Yeah. I want to see the character posters.
That part,
that I'm a little bit more interested in. Kind of like when we got for Street Fighter. I think that'll give me a little bit better idea, like tone and what they're looking for. We got a trailer for Spider-Noir. Ass title, but the show looks very, very good. I must say, I'm impressed. It strikes me as like one of those weird synergy moments where it's like, oh, we got Nicolas Cage to play Ben Reilly. Where I'm like, on the one hand, I'm annoyed that they made him Ben Reilly because people are not that fucking stupid that they can't tell that there's multiple Peter Parkers. But whatever.
I think it's more of a legal thing than it was people not knowing the difference thing. Because I feel like they're not allowed to put live action Peter Parker on TV, which is why they made it Ben Reilly.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. That's a valid point.
Because just like how Vincent D'Onofrio can't appear in a movie.
Yeah, because Marvel has the exclusive TV rights. Do they? I think they do. No, Sony has the.
No, Marvel has the TV rights to Spider-Man, and Sony has the film rights.
That's Peter right. Parker. That's why we always get Marvel animation for it. So
but they won't give them the blessing to use Peter Parker in live action, which is why they reanimated.
Yeah, okay. But the thing that gave me the weird synergy vibe is like getting old ass.
Nicolas Cage.
I'm blanking on. Yeah, Nicolas Cage to play him. Don't get me wrong. Nicolas Cage is talented, especially for his age. What age are we supposed to believe that he is? Because isn't Nicolas Cage like 70?
No, is he? Hold on, Nick.
Or in his 60s at least?
Let me see. This motherfucker is 62 years old.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. How the fuck old is he supposed to be as Ben? Like, again,
Nicolas Cage. They're going to try to make him say he's in his 40s.
Don't lie to me.
I'm Nicolas Cage is in his.
No, I know you're not lying. I'm talking to Amazon. It's like don't fucking try to bullshit a bullshitter. Like that, I know that's an old ass man. The minute he tried to take off that shirt and we see them whack ass CGI abs again that we haven't seen since Ghost Rider, it's like I know what kind of time we're on, brother.
He has CGI abs in Ghost Rider.
They might have been CGI. They looked weird. I remember everybody saying that they looked really fucking weird. They might have really been his abs, but they like however they touched them up looked. It was like, the fuck is that?
Interesting.
Put them Hawaiian rolls on your chest, like.
Let me see if Nick Cage has ever had abs. Oh.
But like that's honestly like the only feedback. Beyond that, everything looks great. I forgot the name of the actor for Robbie Robertson, but he looks dope. Everybody looks really good. Are you gonna watch?
That's crazy.
Are you gonna watch the show in Technicolor or in monochrome, black and white?
That's a good question. Here's the thing: I want to watch it in black and white, and it looks cool in black and white. But the powers look cool in color of the villains. So I'm like,
Yeah,
do I go with novelty or what's more visually exciting? Because I feel like
I might
Technicolor
do.
looks.
I might do on and off. Just
I was
do one
thinking
episode
that
in black and white,
get a
one in
little
color.
both. Get a little both.
Yeah.
Or you know what? Maybe I'll watch if it gets a second season. I'll watch
Hmm.
season one way, and then on
Hmm.
rewatch, I'll watch it the other way.
Okay. Because getting them shows, I mean, getting a show in color to look good already takes work. Getting it to look good in black and white is a whole different type of ordeal. So
Because yeah,
I respect them for committing enough to it.
yeah, I feel like I don't know. I certainly did like both, but I feel like color just adds another dimension that we have the luxury
Mm-hmm.
of now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shadows can
That's
have its own, or black and white shadows can have its own air flair of it as well. You know, I watched Werewolf at Night in black and white, but had I
mhm.
known there was a color version, I probably would have watched in color.
Oh, my fault. It's on MGM. It's going to be on MGM Plus. That who the fuck has MGM Plus?
But I think that's an add-on or part of Amazon.
I believe you are correct. Yeah, it it other than that, it looks great. Um, developed by Oren Uziel. Oh shit, that's a hell of a back catalog. He did 22 Jump Street, Cloverfield Paradox. He was a screenwriter on uncredited screenwriter on Sonic the Hedgehog. Did the story for Mortal Kombat. We'll get to that in a second. Um, wow. And then Stephen Lightfoot, Hannibal, Punisher. Okay, there's a strong team behind this. Lee Jun Lee is playing Felicia Hardy. We're getting an Asian black cat. That'll be interesting. Wait a damn minute, brother. That's Grace Chow from Sinners.
Oh,
she's playing.
oh!
She's
I didn't
playing
realize that
Black
was
Cat.
her. That's crazy.
Yeah, Lamorne Morris is Robert Robertson. Robbie Robertson. 45-minute episodes. All episodes. Oh, it's gonna be a 8-episode drop on May 25th.
Oh, that's
That's
fucking
interesting.
exciting. Love that.
Oh, they might have Ben B in his 60s. They in the premise and aging down on his like private investigator. Okay, might be
Mm.
50, 60 age. Yeah.
It's a very different. We've
Um,
seen Spider-Man before, so I'm not mad at it for being unique.
no, not mad at all. The effects and everything that as they show them seem like they're considered well. It looks good. This feels like a show that kind of has to justify its own existence, in my opinion. But I'm curious. I'm open to it.
Yeah,
You know, when it was announced, I'm like, sure, I guess there are more interesting ones to do, but we'll see how this goes.
but if I remember correctly, I believe because they're doing this, they're going to branch off to other shows as well, including a Gwen show.
I want to see a Gwen show. Show me a Penny Parker show, ho.
That
Like the original Penny Parker that was inspired by fucking Evangelion. That's what I want.
give her an
Pacific Rim with Spider-Man?
movie or Amazon animated show. That'd be fire.
Yeah, it's like, give me... Remember Silk?
Silk?
Yeah, Silk was supposed to get a show.
Was she really? I forgot about.
Yeah, for you, it was in development hell for... That's probably why you forgot. It was in development hell for years.
Oh damn, that's right. They were working on that. Oh my god, you just unlocked a memory. Damn, that's crazy. R.I.P.
I think that died... Was it 2 years ago? I think they officially confirmed it's dead.
That sucks. Yeah. But yeah, we're getting her in the. No, we're getting Gwen. Never mind. I thought. No, they did tease. They did tease her in Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, but we're not getting.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah, so guess we'll see. We also got 2 other trailers that will be interesting. We got a proper trailer for Mortal Kombat 2, which looks very, very fun. I am mad that Jade is bald. Why couldn't she have her beautiful hair? But hey, artistic decision. Beyond that, it looks like they're committing. Shao Kahn looks pants shittingly terrifying.
I'm mad
We
at
also
the
got a
mask
poster. We got a poster for it. Oh, you don't like the mask?
because he's supposed to have half his face out. Well, it's just a whole face mask that doesn't move. The mouth doesn't emote.
Oh, hold up. I didn't realize that. Really?
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah. Look at the picture because I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
that's supposed to be like a mask on top of his face, not a mask that's over his face.
Yeah. Because I definitely remember the mask from.
It's
I'll be damned. You are absolutely right. Yeah. They covered the jaw. Why they do that? They got this big ass act. Oh, wait a second. What the hell? Yeah, that's not how he looked in the game at all.
Yeah,
Even the most recent game.
he has his face out.
Yeah. Yeah, he got that chin out so he can drink a straw.
Yeah, slurp it up.
Yeah. What makes me laugh is looking at the character poster. And in the back, you got big ass Johnny Cage like this. And then way off to the side, about the same size as some of the supporting characters, Cole.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, because he shouldn't have put his dumb ass there in the first place. So, okay. Here's where the real question
counts.
begins. Over, under. How long will it take for Cole to die? I'm saying...
Oh, the opening.
I'm saying under, not counting credits, under 15 minutes.
Under 15 minutes.
That's my bet. I give him a smooth 15 minutes. It's gonna get to that first fight. Matter of fact, it might be that fight with fucking Baraka.
Damn.
And he's like, don't worry, it's gonna be some self-sacrifice bullshit of just, don't worry, guys, I've got this. And just dies immediately. And they're gonna be like, oh my god, not our good friend Cole, who was so important to the plot. And then everybody's gonna be, the rest of the movie just like, this is for Cole. Bum, 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 bum. Dun, 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 dun.
They're going to fridge the
Cole, I hope we made you proud.
Right. They're going to fridge the fuck out of Cole. He is essentially the character that's on the poster to set the example, aka Taskmaster from fucking Thunderbolts.
You know what's crazy? He might outlive Taskmaster. Actually, no, he won't. No, he won't. Because we at least got an opening scene with Yelena before Taskmaster at least participated in the fight.
Yeah, participated some. You know, they got a couple moves in and then got...
Yeah, they threw a shield around and did some flips. I don't think Cole's going to make it that far. I think Cole's going to put his little gauntlet arms up and try and, like, punch through something and it's going to be like, Hoo! And just get stabbed in the chest somehow. Or Shao Kahn's going to, like, split him down the middle, like...
Oh, yeah.
It's like, those from Earth Realm, be prepared. Like,
he's done. He's totally the example character. Now,
he is washed.
Now, let me ask you, between the two, which one are you more excited for, Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat?
I'd say Mortal Kombat, only because I do actually relatively enjoy the first one. Like, it's all right. The fight choreography is good. It's just, like, not a lot of fatalities. Street Fighter looks silly, but I can't be sure if I'm laughing with them or laughing at them. At least with Mortal Kombat, I like get the tone.
Yeah,
where it's like, we know this shit is bonkers, and you came for fights and blood.
Right.
Like I get an idea of the like, okay, you know, it's the same director. And there's a vision for the first one so that we can get the second one, which he got lucky that we got this second one, but we got a second one.
Yeah, this is the real one, the real Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, the actual tournament with actual combatants and actual really famous people playing characters.
Yeah, I think that it's going to be good, and I feel like it's funny that we're getting Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter in the same fucking year. Like, what are the odds of that? That's so nice.
What are the odds of that? How are you feeling about your boy is Johnny Cage, Carl Urban?
I was talking about this earlier today, and I feel, I don't know, because I haven't played all of the Mortal Kombat games. I played not the most recent one, but the one before that. And in
I
that,
think it was 9, I think, or
it had
11, or
some
whichever.
shit to do with time travel. But anyway,
oh, I do remember that one.
Yeah,
I didn't even play it. Sorry, go ahead.
So Johnny Cage is already old in that one, and him and Sonya Blade are so old and have been together, and they now have a grown ass daughter.
Yeah, Cassie,
exactly. So my thing is like, I know it's an adaptation, but I'm like, I wish they either committed to making him that dad, or made him young Johnny Cage instead of washed Johnny Cage. That said, I like Carl Urban. I think it's an interesting place to take the character. I just really need to see how they execute it. I'm not going to condemn them for something that I'm not. Look, I'm all for changes as long as they work within their narrative, and that change justifies its own existence. But yeah, he looks fun. I haven't taken in a lot of his other filmography in some time. So my main source of reference for him is Billy Butcher. So it's so funny seeing a character like Billy Butcher coming out of Carl Urban. But, just speaks to his diversity. I think he did a great job in the trailer for what they're going for. And I feel like they also conveyed it very quickly and very shortly, the type of arc he's going to have over the course of the film.
Yeah.
But yeah, it really just comes down to how they execute it. But they totally hard pivoted from making Cole the lead to making Johnny Cage the lead. Which is so funny.
Which, I mean, low-key, the lead of the first movie should have been Kato or Sonya. They were way more interesting, especially in terms of performance. And we're getting, I think Kato's coming back as well as a couple others.
I don't think Cole was even in the trailer.
I saw him for like a flash.
Okay.
If you go back and look, he's like it's like a blink and you miss it.
Oh wow.
Okay. I'm like, oh, there's Cole. But yeah, it's mostly like Johnny and the rest, as well it should be. Yeah, I'm excited. I've been looking forward to this for a couple years since the first one came out. They fixed the Get Over Here. That's the real one. They got Hiroyuki Sanada to come back. But yeah, it's like Carl Urban, from what I've seen of him, I haven't seen him in like non-franchise roles, but everything he's done franchise I've liked. I like him in Star Trek and The Boys, and he was phenomenal in Dread. So even for this one, it's like he always brings a strong passion to his performances. So it's like, does he look like Johnny to me? Not exactly. Does he have the range to play him? Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's a good enough actor that it's like I just have to like sit with it probably for a couple minutes, because I think I watched the teaser they put out and I'm like, yeah, that works. There's more of that. Anything else for the last trailer?
No. I'm looking forward to it. I hope it's fun and lives up to fans' expectations and stays true to the spirit of the game.
Agreed. So along with the release of the currently flopping Scream 7, we also got our first trailer for Scary Movie 6.
They did.
I mean, it looks funny to me.
It looks funny. I didn't love all the jokes, of course, but I think it feels honest to the spirit of the original too.
Yeah, I mean the original was like goofy and stupid humor too. I think the one that did get me was come in, turn the party out, do some half gay shit, and then Sean comes out and said, "Why just half gay?"
Yeah.
It reminds me of the Dave Chappelle bit from, I think it was For What It's Worth, where he's like, white dudes at parties always doing some borderline gay shit. Like shove a carrot up his ass and put shaving cream on his balls. which I'm just like, yeah, it do be getting weirdly homoerotic when you get like drunk with like the white dudes. I'm like, that half gay shit was a full truth.
Yeah, I don't know what that made me think
Oh.
of. The fucking video I sent you with the fucking hummus in the ass. I was like,
Right. It's like, what do we do to torture them? Get the hummus? I'm like, what the fuck are they doing with the hummus?
right,
The chickpeas. Why are the chickpeas involved in this? There's a Greek man somewhere in distraught.
right.
Just
Like,
like,
what
no,
is
no,
the hummus
no.
out of this?
That's not what it's for. It's for pita chips and tortillas. And I know like the tagline is basically like nothing's off limits. I do think that and this is maybe my interpretation or misinterpretation. I know a lot of people are reading it as like they're gonna do kind of like boomer edgy jokes, and there are like a couple. There's like one in the opening of the trailer. Now here's the thing: I'm engaged with a non-binary person, so I laughed a little bit.
Oh, when they said the they them joke.
Yeah, the they them joke. I'm like, is it a bottom tier joke? Yes, but it feels like it's kind of ironic, like of the times, especially. It's like Marlon, I know, has a trans kid,
Oh, does he?
and
I didn't know that.
yeah, that he's very supportive of, and even on In Living Color, they did a lot of kind of like openly queer characters. Like, yeah, they were a little bit caricatures, but the punchline wasn't just, "Hey, this person's gay."
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I like to even they're one of the Wayans. She's second generation Wayans dynasty. Is a stand-up comedian. She's an out lesbian. She's an out married lesbian. I'm forgetting Shantae Wayans. So it's like they seem pretty aware. I mean, don't get me wrong. They're still going to do like stupid, like fart jokes, poop jokes, gay jokes that are kind of bottom of the barrel. My sense about them being like, nothing's off limits. It doesn't seem super mean spirited, especially knowing the ones that they worked on, which is 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Not talking about the ones like 3 and 4, which I still like. I like
the
3 and
airplane
4 a lot.
guys.
Yeah, no, I think that was somebody else.
No, I think the team behind Airplane went and stepped in and did 3 and 4. That's why 3 and 4 are a lot more slapsticky.
Okay, yeah, okay, you're right. It is them. Because I know the Wayans were gone for that, but a lot of some of the cat, well, not some, just the lead two, Regina Hall and Anna Faris. Anna Faris stayed.
Yeah,
and I'm glad to see them back. They haven't lost a beat. It's, I think what caught me the most is, aside from the fact that they're catching up on like 2 decades of horror that they didn't do any jokes for, how many recent movies are referenced in this?
Yeah, like Sinners and Weapons and
Sinners, Weapons, Final Destination, Bloodlines, with the way the house is set up for that.
Yeah.
Hard Eyes, which came out literally last February.
Weapons just came out even sooner than that.
Yeah, Weapons was, I think, August. Sinners, I think, was April. Like, I know when this movie went into production because I was seeing the calls for it and everything. It was like October, November, I think, in Atlanta.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, it was straight up a couple months ago. Like, that must have been a short shoot, like 2 months or something.
It's wild. It's been 13 years since the last Scary movie was made, and 25 years since the Wayans have been involved.
It is 5 is the only Scary movie that I haven't watched, just because they lost Regina and Anna, and I'm like, I ain't watching this shit.
Yeah, like, why would I? What the fuck?
Yeah, it's like you took the heart and soul out of the movie. Like, I was only in 3 and 4 because they were in it too, and they're funny as hell.
Yeah, we love.
So I'm glad they're back. I'm glad the Wayans are back in the driver's seat. It's funny to see Ghostface. They had a Smile. Smile was in there. Ghostface is back. Doofy is back.
Yeah,
and like
wasn't Doofy
the boyfriend? So what?
It was Doofy. I remember, wasn't Doofy the killer in the first one?
Yeah, Doofy was the killer in the first one. Then they also brought back
The small
what is
hand
his
guy.
name? The small hands guy. The one brother that was in Peacemaker is
Oh, he's
the
in it.
secret agent. I think so. If it's who I'm thinking of.
So
Um
Cindy's.
they brought back yeah, they brought back Cindy's boyfriend from the first movie. The discount, I know what you the jock dude from the first movie. Basically I think everybody from the first movie is back.
And I like. I think. How do you feel about the fact that it's not called Scary Movie 6, but just Scary Movie?
It's called Scary Movie 6.
No, if you look at it, look at the trailer and look at how it's posted. It's just called Scary.
Oh no, I saw. I thought they did the highlight for the V and the I. They didn't do that,
I don't believe
which
they
is the
did.
most obvious way to do it.
I believe if you look at the trailer, it's just Scary Movie. If you look it up on YouTube, it's just called Scary Movie. Just Scary Movie
Oh wow.
26.
Okay. All right then. I guess I'm wrong. Okay. Weird because Scary Movie VI is right in front of our eyeballs. Like even when the trailer ended, I'm like, oh, here's the part where they highlight that. Why didn't they highlight the V and the I? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I was very confused by that. So I guess it is just calling it Scary Movie, which I guess that also sort of ignores 3, 4, and 5 because it didn't have shit to do with it.
But also, I think it's also a pun, perhaps, because they're doing the latest Scream movie, which was in New York, and it was a sequel to the
Mhm.
reboot of Scream that wasn't called Scream 5. It was
Oh,
just
sure.
called Scream.
Oh, it's a meta joke. That's pretty good. I'll give him that one. Um,
The
yeah, I don't know. I know the internet's kind of. I know the internet's a little bit split about like it's either going to be like cringy, old, out of date jokes, which there's definitely going to be some in there, or um, just that same Wayne's humor. I'm. I feel like I am going to date myself because I feel like I'm going to laugh at it more than I expect. Uh, but I don't think generations below us will find it particularly funny because it won't like I like the Wayans humor. It is not the most sophisticated or clever jokes. They're mostly pretty like don't get me wrong. I still laugh when I watch Scary Movie 2. It's still very funny to me. But it's funny in the way that like Bugs Bunny is entertaining.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, same with thing with the first one.
Yeah.
Well, just like how the fucking the one movie, the was it Daffy and Porky Pig would probably find
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
it, but not
Yeah, Day the Earth Blew Up.
yeah,
Great movie.
yeah, but I don't
But
think
like
kids would like it.
yeah, it's just like the scary movie movies are like adult cartoons, and I mean that like sorry, adult Looney Tunes, pretty much, where it's just like it's just dumb, silly, obvious kid shit. Like there's not a lot. It's not like Naked Gun where there's at least a little bit more thought put into even the dialogue, where there's even like dialogue jokes as much as there's visual gags. Um, most of the scary movie is like predominantly like sight gags. You know, every now and then you'll have maybe something in the dialogue, like what really makes a killer is canceling a show in the middle of their season. Hey man, I'm getting woozy. Like it's like, hey, a UPN reference to the show getting canceled too early, twice.
Now,
Living Color and Wayne's Brothers.
so I was talking about this today on a live stream. Do
Mm-hmm.
you think with, because I don't know if this is something that's recent or it's always been this way, the fact that Paramount owns both Scream and Scary Movie, and with how notorious Scary Movie
Mm.
is,
Shit,
yeah, with notorious how
I,
Scary Movie,
I I didn't think about that. Sorry. Go ahead.
do you think that an actual actor from the Scream movies will show up in Scary Movie 6?
Oh, it'd be really funny if it was
Melissa
Melissa.
Cooper, yep.
That would be so great.
That's
I
what,
would. What if she was the killer?
that would be fucking hilarious.
That would be genius. Oh man, that'd be so. Oh, I
I
would love
want
that.
that now.
I don't know. here's the thing. That would be an incredible surprise because it's like it's not like they get small names. They got Regina Hall and Anna Faris back. They got a bunch of other people, I presume. But, they
Also,
got everybody else back.
speaking of which, can we think it's how funny it is that we can get Regina Hall in Oscar-nominated film One Battle After Another, but also in Scary Movie 6?
Yeah, because she has range. She's a criminally underappreciated
Ooh,
actress
well,
who has looked exactly the same my entire life.
please
She has
tell
been
me.
nothing but gorgeous and talented my entire existence.
Yes.
30 straight years.
Speaking of Regina Hall, please tell me you've seen Honk for Jesus.
Did Jesus save your soul?
Yeah.
I've needed somebody to talk about that movie with. We will have to have a whole separate conversation about that movie. There is so much to unpack.
Oh, yeah.
And it should have been a miniseries.
I can agree with that.
Because they started something, I'm like, you can just keep going with it. But so many people are not ready for that talk yet. Because your allegiance to the black church, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to get that conversation started. People aren't ready for that. Y'all aren't ready for that talk about the allegiance to the black church and the relationship that the decline in the black church has to do with like the disrespect towards black women, and y'all ain't ready for that conversation. Your choir director has been gay the whole time, and yet you're homophobic. But like, y'all ain't ready for that. Y'all ready for us to break down Honk for Jesus? The rampant issues with infidelity and pedophilia in the black community. You're not ready for them talks. These are intra community Cookout exclusive talks. If you don't have an invitation, you are not getting one. The Cookout has been closed since 2020. Actually, since 2016. The Cookout officially closed during Donald Trump's first presidency. That was when the gates shut. Yeah. We weren't, somebody might get a plate every now and then. I know Tom Holland just got married, so he might get a plate every now and then, but he's not invited. He can hang in his car, he can hang outside.
The white people
will bring him some
in beforehand. Gary Owens, he can come.
Yeah, Gary. Well,
can he? Wait, can he not come anymore? Was it revoked?
Do we still fuck with Gary Owens?
Do we still fuck with him? Has some shit happened that I'm unaware of?
He cheated on his ex-wife.
Oh fuck!
I mean, he admitted it. Like,
was it with a white woman? I mean, it doesn't matter.
I love the validating question. Like, I mean, was she white? Unironically, I think it was other black women. It'd be funny as shit if it was a white woman. It's like, well, he's just going back to what he knows. It's like we always say. It's like, well, at some point in your bloodline, a black woman birthed you. Well, he knows. Like, he's just going home.
Oh, never mind. I'll retract my statement. Damn. I wonder if he's ended up with another black person. I don't know.
I mean, maybe John Brown, but he's dead. And then
what about Bill Burr?
Who's the? I think Bill Burr got booted out after the Riyadh thing.
Oh,
he loves his black wife.
Damn it!
But he loves his wife and he loves his kids. I'll give him that. But he's in the car with Tom. Who's the one that hangs out with Angela Davis? I can't remember her name. There's two like older white women that are probably close. They're at the gate. They're not coming in, but they're at the gate. And they're security. They're bouncers.
I can't think of anyone else.
What is her name?
Okay. That's tough. I don't know where their status is at because it's past 2020 again, but Timothy Chalamet is pretty cool. He was fucking with.
He's cool. He's been a wigger his whole life, but he's cool. Gloria Steinem. Gloria
Can
Steinem
I
is a
elaborate
bouncer.
on that?
Oh no, okay. So like people think that like he was doing all this rapping and posturing um for the promotion of Marty Supreme. People don't haven't seen the videos of Timmy Tim that have been out for years on YouTube.
Oh yeah,
Like mind you, like Tim is our age, and he's a white boy from New York that I think went to an art school. There's literally like a video of him at a talent show doing the chop dance. There are videos of him in college freestyle rapping. Like he's not new to this. He legitimately does, I believe, have a cultural appreciation for the art of hip hop and rapping.
yeah.
He is a wigger,
The Wiggler
affirming,
art is so crazy.
affirming. Sorry, wigga. He's one of the good ones. Like my best friend's like he's a wigga. You know, it's like Tim. My best friend loves jazz. The avid jazz listener. He's it's like I was telling him a couple weeks back. I'm like, yo man, you got to peep this new Jill Scott album. It's fire. He's like, yeah. He's like, oh, absolutely, we'll do. I gotta tell my dad. He's a big Jill Scott fan. Mind you, his dad is one of the whitest dudes I know. Great guy. Great dude. Jill Scott fan.
So let me ask Will specifically, let me ask you, and we'll get back to it after this.
Yeah.
Is the dude who made the Secret American Society of Magical Negroes invited?
He is
He's
not
on probation.
He's on probation. Yeah, that's exactly it.
Now, what were you gonna say though?
No, I was gonna say it's like he's not allowed. He's in the living room, and a cousin will bring him a plate when we say so. And we told him not to. He's in his room. He's in his room on punishment. Is where he is. That's where his ass is at. It's like until it's like, can I come out to get something? No, sit your black ass there and think about what you did. We will bring you a plate. You gonna eat what's on the plate. I don't like cabbage. I don't give a fuck. You gonna eat the cabbage. You gonna eat the cabbage. His plate has cabbage and chitlins.
Damn.
And the white meat of the chicken. And one Texas Roadhouse roll and with the cinnamon butter.
And for punishment,
with the butter, so he knows that we love him, but we're upset.
And as punishment, we asked one of our white coworkers to bring the potato salad with the raisins. They left it at the gate, but you have to eat it.
Yeah, they left it at the gate. Just like get it in a bowl of that raisin salad.
You think about what you did.
Yeah, it's like you got to think about that one. There's several of them. It's like Candace is trying to get out of her room by any means necessary, and we're not stopping her. She keep yelling every time she hop in the gate. It's like, hey y'all, hey, I'm leaving the gate. Actually, I've left the gate because I'm one of the good ones. It's like, girl, we didn't ask you to come back.
The whole Candace is a whole other conversation.
Candace. The funniest shit about Candace is seeing, and we'll move on to the last two topics so we can get out of here. Candace is hilarious watching Ben Shapiro call her a grifter, where black people have been saying that for over a decade. I'm like, once again, had you listened to black people, specifically black women, that have studied history and have cataloged and charted these events, you would have known this, but the only reason you're upset is because it's against your goals, because she made a whole documentary calling Eric Kirk the devil.
She's like, she's that weird fucking I'm trying to think of the best analogy like it within media for someone like a Candace Owen.
I have never seen a side piece so aggressively try to be a main piece since I've seen mac and cheese at a Christmas dinner. I have, don't get me wrong, I love you. You are a brother to me. If God forbid some horrible accident befalls you, I need you to know now, I'm not making a documentary about your girlfriend being the worst person ever. I'm not. It's like, yeah, she was on Zoom. I'm not doing 4-hour live streams talking about she was at the funeral in leather pants and a shiny pantsuit, smiling and dancing.
I knew she was.
Fucking, oh,
I knew she was talking shit, but I didn't know she made a whole ass doc about her. That's actually insane.
yeah. I need somebody out there to watch it and report back. I'm not because I'm not going to give her the views. Like it's like the. I was about to admit to a petty crime, and I'm not going to do that.
after.
It'll be after. Okay.
Funny as fuck.
Okay. Speaking of terrible and abusive white masters, Paramount got.
Damn.
I can't get through it. Paramount beat Netflix in the bidding war for Warner Brothers. That has unfortunately the worst of two evils due to the scary, terrifying appearance of Davis Ellison. Just the man sitting as the media lapdog for Donald Trump. This is. I honestly want the Supreme Court to veto this as a potential monopoly concern. This is bad on an unprecedented amount of levels. And honestly, again, going into conspiracy here, my conspiracy theory is that WB wanted Netflix to go higher and probably wanted to go with Netflix, and Netflix called their bluff and Paramount won. That's what I think happened. I think WB was being a little greedy and was like, because they in the bidding war, it was like Paramount or Netflix. Come on, boys, who's gonna get this sweet WB dollars? And was teasing Netflix, and Netflix said, "Fuck it," and left. It's like, cool, you can have her. She sucks. And Paramount's like, yay. And WB's like, oh, now I got to do all those things I said I'd do in the messages. I gotta do Superman meets Avatar. Oh no, I gotta do Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles meets Looney Tunes. Oh god, oh shit. Now we gotta do G.I. Joe Game of Thrones. Oh man, like but no, this is bad. This is all jokes aside, this is very bad for media. This is going to lead to some concerning things as to how, like, I mean, CNN has been going down the toilet for years, and they're just hemorrhaging journalists and journalistic integrity. But boy, it's about to go down the shitter. Media, monopolization is going to be fucking nuts. We're probably going to see a weird consolidation of resources. I'm nervous, honestly, at least from like a media standpoint, and what this is going to mean for what comes in the future. I mean, yeah, we got the obvious ones of like the franchise, like, what's going to happen to DC? Where's Daffy Duck going to go? Won't somebody think of the Avatar cinematic universe? The actual Avatar? But knowing the level of sycophant that David Ellison is, and his father Larry, and where their allegiances lie, it's like we were talking about with the DailyWire thing. Giving a multimillionaire, I believe possibly a billionaire, this much access to this wide of a level of IP is going to kill, I think, a lot of original creations. I think it's going to kill a lot of animation. I do think it's going to, every media company is political in some form or fashion. Every piece of media is going to be some sort of is going to have some sort of politics that influence it, be it the time or the creation or both. There's narrative, but this is going to. I think I'm concerned for the use of IP even further and more obviously into making people comfortable with right-wing propaganda. It's not to say that we haven't had sprinklings of that, like propaganda exists. Marvel has ties to the American military because that's how they get them in the movies. That's just the facts. That's how it goes. But this, Zaslav has been bad. But Ellison is probably worse, and it's a big boat that he's getting to steer by. What are kind of your thoughts? I've been rambling for a bit.
No, I agree with you that look, I think people were upset either way. I feel like when Netflix was purchased, no one was happy with that, but especially now, seeing how much of a seeing how petulant he was to get this, because seemed like a done deal with Netflix, and he's trying to fucking bitch and complain, and it wasn't until he put the money where the mouth was that conversations were renegotiated. And I feel like your theory is correct, and I'm mad at that. I didn't think of it myself, but the fact that they probably were being greedy and wanted Netflix to give them more money, even though it was already a done deal. And someone probably talked them into it, and then Netflix was like, "No, fuck you. I see what you're doing." And then they're like, "Oh, and now they're with Paramount because I feel like I heard Zaslav. I saw like a snippet of something. Apparently, Zaslav was not making fun of it, but he was saying something to the effect of like he didn't think it was serious, or like he didn't like if you look it up, he
You're
was
kind of downplaying it.
downplaying it or something to that effect. I'm concerned with where David Ellis's mindset is, and especially the attitude of business, how that is going to affect things like DC, things like James Gunn, and what they have going on. And I saw, a content creator today say that they think that because of this purchase that James Gunn will leave DC. And
that was a thought that crossed my mind too. So go ahead.
And I can understand, but I feel like it wouldn't be an automatic choice once the deal is done. Because this is a huge deal that obviously involves the government and law and stuff. So I think it would be some years before we saw the effects of this purchase. But even so, I feel that with this happening, there is a potential fear that it will impede on the type of stories that James Gunn wants to tell. Specifically, what comes to mind is the overarching stuff with Salvation and it talking about government oversight. And if Trump doesn't like that and Ellison steps in the way, I think James Gunn's going to have a problem and feel creatively handcuffed.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree, because even when the news broke, I mean, it's like my first thought wasn't immediate. It was like, oh my God, what's going to happen to my superhero movies? But there is a trickle down of these choices. The word I was thinking of earlier was like a antitrust, in terms of like where it may go with the Supreme Court. And yeah, it's like, as you were talking about, like James and I think Peter too, because as a duo.
That's right.
Their potential exit. One, I think it'll depend on how much stretch David allows them. Where if it's functionally the same as Zaslav, because they got away with a lot even under Zaslav. Which I'm impressed by, but it's like I don't know how close of a watchful eye Ellison's going to have, because he has a lot of shit that he will come into possession to if this goes through. But my first thought was like, well, we're not going to get to see, fascist dictators being dropped by bird women at like 10 stories high in the sky. Probably not, because that might start giving people ideas. And I'm not going to advocate for violence, but I'll leave it there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. It seems like a rapidly developing sort of situation. It seems like they're probably going to be merging resources, like potentially merging like HBO and Showtime. There is Ellison is potentially alleging that they're trying to do like 30 theatrical films a year. Okay, Paramount is not selling its. God damn, I forgot how many they have. That's right. BET is Viacom. Viacom is Paramount. Shit,
Oh,
we're already in the dark place. That was not a pun. Fuck. Yeah, Paramount is not selling cable networks after WB merger. Incredible footprint of combined linear business. Lachlan Murdoch says Ellison backed CNN will be strong competitor of Fox News, but running news is hard. God forbid you do your job. Yeah. There's a lot of developing news on this that I think us here on the grounds as common people will keep an eye on. Okay. One potential right decision is that he might leave HBO alone. No clue what that means in the long term, but hey, I guess we'll see.
poor the legacy company that is Warner Brothers. It's just been passed from owner to owner these last 10 years because it was like a different company. It was like the guy who was working with Zack Snyder. Can't remember. It was like an Asian dude. Can't remember his name. But then Zaz.
Oh, Jim Lee? Was it?
No,
Oh no, Jim
Warner
Lee's the
Brothers.
current head of DC. Hamada.
Walter Hamada, yeah. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
Zaslav bought it from him with Warner Brothers Discovery, and he just wanted to get it into a place where it's profitable again so he can sell it off to somebody else. And I'm like, damn.
Yeah. I have seen porn stars that have not been passed around and fucked out of their brains as much as WB has.
That part.
It is, boy, is it something. It's like, and just can't keep a president, can't keep an owner. Like it was, what was it? We had AT&T at some point. They fused with Discovery. What caught me off guard when they initially kind of went out for the bidding war is that Apple didn't pick them up. That's what surprised me, because I thought that one actually might have worked, and they probably would have been pretty clear in the antitrust. That one, I think, from a PR standpoint too,
I would have been less
might have.
if Apple got them.
Yeah, I like that would have aligned more with kind of like the prestige that would have helped boost their exclusivity and market. I mean, I guess if Apple TV Plus is doing well enough, then they're good. But I don't have that,
Right.
so I wouldn't know.
It's
Don't ask me how I watch Severance.
on there.
No, there's some fantastic television there. I don't have it, and so that's not how I watch my shows on Apple TV Plus.
Oh.
I watch them, but other ways.
Mm.
But yeah, it's like that. That's what also shocked me when I thought about it. I'm like, did you even offer your holes to Apple? Before you
Hilarious statement.
tooted up your throat, and keister for between you got ramshackled by Netflix and
Netflix.
Netflix and Paramount, but
They're ready to get taken. Clearly.
yeah, we'll see how things go. We might be watching the birth of an unfortunate abusive relationship, but we'll see. I'm curious if they're going to keep Ryan Coogler's deal or if that's exclusive to him.
That's a good question.
Because they would come into, I believe they'd come into possession of that. And you know how mad Hollywood was about that. They were
That's
pissed.
contracts, though. That's binding. So
yeah, that's binding. or it should be binding. I don't know if it's incumbent on the owner at the
I think it's a
time to
rights
be in
thing.
line up.
Whoever owns the company those rights were. That's a great question. I hadn't even
Yeah,
considered, man. I hope he keeps the
I,
retains
I
the rights.
I hope so too. I hope it kind of flies under the radar. I think they might, well, because the deal hasn't technically closed either. It's going to be probably like a year minimum before that. Maybe like 8 months. Because all the litigation and civility and stocks and all that shit that I don't know anything about. Um, but yeah, yeah. So it's like I hope they might let them keep it if they get anything at the Oscars. Um, okay. We got anything else to say on this before we get to the last one?
Um, no, I don't think it's great. I think we just have to see how it's going to be affecting us going forward. I don't like that Paramount Plus and HBO Max are going to be one app now. HBO Max is the superior operating app over Paramount Plus. So,
I fully agree with you.
and yeah, those two things don't. I really hope that Paramount Plus just gets absorbed into HBO Max, and
Mhm.
rather than the other way around, because Paramount Plus's operating system kind of sucks. But yeah, it's all unfortunate, and we just really got to wait to see what happens, and hopefully we still get DC properties the way that they're intended.
I hope we also get to keep Last Week Tonight
That
because
part, fuck.
I didn't even think about that until you mentioned it. I'm just like, man, everything that has like hope and joy and optimism, not just dour doom and gloom and white supremacy and other weird shit.
All the shits.
Um, oh, minor aside, I'm not gonna linger on this too long. Um, Sinners got recognized at both the BAFTAs and the NAACP Image Awards. Um, yes, there was an incident with a guy with coprolalia. Everybody knows about that. I'm not going to belabor that point. I'm going to talk about their successes. They got 3 awards at the BAFTA, including Best Original Screenplay, I think Best Supporting Actress, and one other award that I think Best Soundtrack or Best Score. I can't remember. And then I think they got a bunch of NAACP Image. So um, Image Awards seemed very good and very fun. From when I was looking at the different categories, I don't remember who all the winners were, but that was, a lot of good speeches and positive results. So it's like that was a nice way, I think, to just close out February. It was just like a 3-day celebration of our uh, uh, efforts in labor through, in the arts. A lot of recognition for, online creators just as much as like, other more mainstream like actors and talents. Like, so basically everywhere across the spectrum, books, journalism, podcast, everything. The only weird one was animation a little bit. Those were a little scattershot in terms of categories because like they put um, Zootopia, I think, won Best Animated Feature. And it's like I don't think there were any black movies in the animated feature category, which I'm not surprised, but I wish it was a little different. Um, and then there are a couple like weird in there had like a children's animation and then an overall animation. And I think Gracie's Corner won children's, and then another one won overall. But there's a lot more black stories out there being told in various mediums and formats than we're aware of. And it was just nice to kind of see those highlighted. And also the memes that came out of it, which have been highly entertaining, like Delroy Lindo and Viola Davis and whatnot. Um, did you have anything you wanted to say about like Image Awards or the BAFTAs or anything like that?
I have not had an opportunity to really engage in the award scene this season of any of the award shows. Like I barely just found out who the Oscars were nominated for the Oscars. But I did watch
Oh,
Michael B. Jordan's
shit.
speech, and
Oh, okay.
I thought he did a very it was a very good speech for the SAG Awards, and
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
I know that Sinners is up for a lot of stuff this year, and I hope that it sweeps, and I hope that it wins Best Picture at the Oscars.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
You know,
But
it's Best Director.
yep. Oh yeah, one other thing. We did very well at the Grammys. Shout out to Duran Bernard and Kendrick Lamar. They and Kalani. Kalani got their first, I think, their first Grammy. I'm very happy for them.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So it's like they've been working hard in the paint. So, okay. So last one, we can get out of here. Wonder Man, the out of nowhere hit from Disney Plus, aired at the end of January and not the top of February for Black History Month. What a show. What a phenomenal and inspirational miniseries about what it is to be a creative. And I'm definitely curious to hear your thoughts, but like it hit very close to home. As somebody that is like trying to find opportunities for acting, trying to find opportunities for writing, even getting back. Actually, I was starting acting classes like the week after it aired, like again for the first time in years. And so even watching that first episode, it was so hard to sit through because, and this even kind of goes back to what we were talking about with Jonathan Majors. I'm like, you are so talented and you're getting in your own way because you just won't shut the fuck up, and not in an annoying way, but in a way where like, I get it. I get the depth. I get what you're taught, how you are meant to like understand or interpret a character, because you want to breathe life into this idea. But also sometimes they just want you to say the words on the page, and it's not that deep. It's like, come on, bro, like just put the fries in the bag, like type shit. And watching Simon's journey, this was a comment I wound up in on Threads where it's like someone's talking about how full spoilers, by the way, spoilers for Wonder Man, how his suit reveal had very little buildup and fanfare, but it was actually very much downplayed in comparison to people like, Daredevil or Spider-Man, these big name heroes that have this triumphant moment of achievement. But for Simon, he gets the exact thing that he wanted, but he like lost his friend. So it's very harrowing, which I think is a very interesting kind of spin on that trope, where it's like you see him in a moment of success, but he's hollow because he's doing it with him. The show's great. It might be the best MCU show.
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree.
Like Ironheart was definitely up there for me, but this one cleared.
Yeah.
But what were your thoughts?
This show is exceptional on every level. From its first episode, the way it really dove into Simon as a man, showed his life. The way that it showed the authenticity not only of the acting experience, but an experience of what it's like to be just in the city of LA. The way that it expanded upon Simon's character from what he's traditionally known as in the comics. Or I guess he has a few different identities and roles in the comics, but they can never set on like a definitive purpose for this guy. And the fact that he is somebody who admires and wants to go after a superhero role, yet feels a sense of fear and shame for the fact that he actually has superpowers, is just such a phenomenal concept. And he's always been introverted and by himself, and is like he has the ability, but he doesn't have the know-how, or doesn't allow himself to be free, to be himself, because he's always searching to be somebody else to dive into that, because he doesn't want to confront the person he actually is. He doesn't like the person he actually is. And to meet somebody like a Trevor Slattery, who also, not to the same way, but lives in the sense of shame of how the world perceives him. So he also with love of acting, but also his he wants to distance him. They're both two guys that wants to distance themselves from things about themselves that they perceive as mistakes. Who are selfish guys who find camaraderie within each other and find a friendship within each other. And this is it's one of those exceptions to the progression of what was the other movie I'm thinking of? Oh yes, it's not the same type of story, even though ironically there's both prison breaks. But how Shawshank Redemption is a platonic love story about brotherhood, and this is
sorry, I wasn't expecting that comparison. Go ahead. I'm so sorry.
But it's platonic love story between these two men, and Shawshank's the same way. And I think it's beautiful that these two guys who have been regarded and viewed as fuck ups and condescended to, and is viewed as selfish their entire lives, find a reason beyond themselves to sacrifice. And I think that in the way that it was done and executed at the end of the series, were because at first I had a problem with the fact that Simon just knew how to use his powers at the end. But then on rewatch, I remembered that him accessing his powers, like the monologue in the first scene, he listened to Trevor, and it was really about letting go and being present rather than trying to control your experience. So I feel like through freedom, he found excessive harmony rather than control with his own body and abilities. And I feel like them subtly setting that up was a brilliant way to fast track him knowing how to use his abilities, because it's an innate thing within him, like his ability to act.
Yeah, and I think there is definitely a lot to be said about the subtext of a black man with these insane ionic powers. Having to, not only as an actor, having to control how he's perceived on set and navigating the world and things like that, but now add on this power thing, especially in a world where those with powers are restricted from what they can do in the thing that he loves the most. So he has to be like 4 times as hyper conscious as anyone else about how he moves, how he operates, even how he expresses his feelings, which I think was like part of the criticism that his ex-girlfriend made, before she left with it, is like he just wasn't present. He wasn't, there, which it's like it lends into what you said, of just like being able to have power when he embraces all of himself and doesn't like shut it off just because of the restrictions of the world. I guess it's sort of parallel to even like Black Boy Joy of sorts. So it's like, and I thought it was dope that we got to see his experiences with, his family, his Haitian family. I was very impressed with how they handled Trevor. I mean, he's coming from where he was in Iron Man 3 to where he was in Shang-Chi to now, like the writing for Trevor here is really good, but just as much as the writing for Simon, like they make a great combo in terms of how they like play off each other with the young and the old. And you could very easily make Trevor like this crotchety old man, but he's not, he's a little bit high on his britches, but that's just dealing with artists. I hate to say. Like it's a, now granted you'd have a little bit more insight into this in terms of dealing with artists in that specific location, but I do remember like a lot of those conversations that I've had with like my own artist friends and things like that, where it's like my relationship with my talent, I always felt off in comparison to other artists, to the point where it's like, while I don't get imposter syndrome, I do get kind of this weirdness about it where it's like I do see a lot of other artists that are a lot more like Simon, that are life or death, eat, sleep, breathe their craft.
Yeah.
Where they're like super duper serious, and it's like it's versus somebody that might be a little bit more like, yeah, I can, it's like I can do this thing and I'm happy with it and it brings me joy and it gives me opportunity to create, but it's not like some people that go method. It's like, oh, this is all I am, and like the almost tortured aspect of artistry.
Mm.
And while Simon leads a little bit more there, I still found a lot of relatability to him. Not only as a character, but as a creator, where it's like, yeah, I can see I could easily spiral in this or get absorbed, or you want to make, a million opportunities, or it's like I have, one shot. I got to do a self tape. I got to do take after take after take after take, or I fucked up a line or whatever. That shit sucks. I went through it a little bit on Saturday. But no, it's like their story, their connection, like it's such a tight narrative too, where it's like I don't think any critiques really. The only real critique I guess I have is that they theoretically could have had one episode about the production of the movie.
Yeah.
I would not have minded that, but as it is now, it's pretty perfect.
Yeah. Because I agree, because it seems like we sort of fast tracked from audition to then just a day on set, and then the next episode was the movie. And yeah, I feel like maybe there's some more information to mine about Trevor and Simon's relationship, because I don't know what that thing would be, and I feel like they chose each episode and each placement for the relevancy of the progression of their relationship. So I'm curious to see what would be that thing that could be mined from that time. Even though I don't know what that is, it still feels like because I'm so invested in Simon's progression as an actor, starting with him on set, I'm curious to see the progression of how he is as an actor on set. But I feel like that's more my desire, being invested in the character, than how it progresses the narrative.
Which is really a testament to the strength of their writing.
Exactly.
To be able to, I think, elicit that response where it's like, I want to see more of you in your world.
I think it's wild that I mean, I guess it's subtext, but the fact that a government agency or authority are trying to fill their prison quota. So they're going after a black man who's trying to control his temper, and keep his emotions in check.
It's wild, but it is so close to reality.
Yeah,
too.
Exactly.
It's like, is it wild? Yes, but also, like we say, they used to eat us. We can't be surprised at anything anymore. Just,
It's true.
They turned us into furniture. They separated us by Coke machines. Have you ever seen a double-sided Coke machine?
No.
Where one was 10 cent and one was 15 cent?
What?
Yeah. A segregated Coke machine. One for the whites and one for the black.
And the black one was more expensive.
Yes. I am saying this with zero hyperbole. This is at the International Civil Rights Museum down here. That was one of the things we saw in there was a real one. Coke doesn't talk about that. Yeah, a segregated Coke machine. They, it's like your gifts, your differences, your otherness will always put a target on your back. The same honey that attracts hummingbirds attracts flies. And the honey ain't even do nothing but being sweet.
Exactly.
And so for like him and his narrative, especially with it being like the person that he trusts the most. And I did like that even throughout the arc, Trevor does understand that it's, and come to the point of just like, hey, I had my chance and he doesn't deserve this.
Yeah.
He's just a guy with a dream. He wants to be a working actor, which technically you are. If you act and you work, you're a working actor. Now, you may not work consistently, but you work. But he's a guy with a dream and the world at his disposal.
Yeah. I think it's tragic yet beautiful because they say in the narrative that the Mandarin role, and you see it when they do the slow zoom in of him all strung out trying to be the Mandarin behind the character, and they say
that was interesting too.
That was a really powerful scene. They say the Mandarin is a source of great pain for him. He said that himself. So for him to sacrifice his opportunity at freedom with utilizing his greatest pain to save his best friend was powerful. But also for Simon to sacrifice his biggest dream to save him back was also powerful. But that said, have you seen the show Barry? Have we talked about this?
Yeah.
I feel like season 2, if they get a season 2, because they did this fucking dirty. I'll be mad.
All their releases this year, I think, would benefit from a not this year. This phase. All their TV shows, I think, are all pretty damn good and are worthy of a follow up.
Yeah, I feel like if they get a season 2, it'd have to be something in the lines of Barry, in the sense that he's trying to maintain his acting career. Because at the very end, they say he could be a great threat or a great asset. They end on asset.
Yeah.
So I imagine they'll have him do damage control projects in secret while he tries to maintain his acting life in the public without having it be outed that he is.
Oh, it's a reverse Jet Jackson.
Reverse Jet Jackson. Remind me, I haven't seen Jet Jackson in forever, but tell me.
Jet Jackson was the kid. Was he a famous actor that was also a teenage super spy? I think is what he was.
Oh, it's been so long since I've seen it. Okay,
I know it has been for me too.
Well, I guess it would be a Jet Jackson of sorts because he's a spy, but he's also an actor. But he can't get caught the fact that he has powers, and he doesn't want to do that. He just wants to act.
Yeah, so it's not a reverse. It's just a regular Jet Jackson.
Yeah. Well, also, that's his deal. That's his trade. Like, Trevor stays with me under house arrest, or Trevor gets free, and I work for you.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I hope that show comes to fruition. But I just think it's so fascinating. We have a superhero with not a secret identity, but secret powers. But nobody knows. We have a world famous actor playing a superhero with powers, but nobody knows he has powers. Just such a unique sort of thing, and uses his money and he uses the fact that he's an actor doing research as his form of investigation, which is hilarious.
And even how they closed out the season or potentially series, it even got me because I was so invested in Simon's story. I'm like, well, what is he going to do next?
Yeah.
And I think I'm just like, yeah, it's give me this long epilogue of just where the roles take him and how he processes the grief of losing probably his one and only friend. And it's I was very interested in the character. I'm like, well, where's Simon going to go from here? It's like the end of what was the Andrew Garfield movie where he was the screen player, where he was Eric Larson.
Oh, Tick Tick Boom?
Yeah, Tick Tick Boom. Where, he finally got his show on stage, and then he goes up to the producer. He's like, oh my God, I'm so proud. I made it. It's done. What do I do next? And she's like, you do it again.
Yeah.
You go to the next one. It's it doesn't end after that one. You keep going. And so that was kind of how I was feeling, where it's he's at this apex. He got to live his dream, and do what he does. And I'm just like, okay, that's interesting. It's like, what is he doing next? A small role? It's like, what was that sense like for, after you have that peak, and built it there with pretty much one person? Where do you go? Is there a fall off? Where do you go? And it sounds like he, focused on him, took the time and money that he needed for himself, and did what he needed to do to get Trevor, and did a lot of research. Guy's smart and doesn't get enough credit, and is like, and really, I've really got to speak to Yahya's acting
Oh my
throughout
god,
it,
so impressive.
especially in the audition episode. That fake out did get me though.
Oh, got
about
the fuck out of me. Yeah.
when he punched him through the skull. But it's like Yahya's acting was incredible. I mean, he's always been great in everything I've seen him in. He was good in Matrix. He was good in Watchmen. He was good. He was fun in Aquaman. But seeing him play, it's one thing to play a character. It's another thing playing a character that is acting elsewhere, or it with a specific level of intent. It's like I pray to be able to be that good to do that. Like, I got one dimension to it, but like playing a character that is authentically sad versus a character that is acting as another character who is experiencing an emotion.
Yeah.
Which is like, so I wonder, it's like, okay, how much of that was you, and how much of that was you as Simon?
Right. I even go back to his first scene, like when he was first even got the call back in the first place, and just how he was able to handle that. Like, did I send this to you? It was like a girl doing the audition of that scene on TikTok. But like saying the words, I was like, fuck, I want to do that. And I need to memorize it so I can do the fake audition for Wonder Man. I think it'd be a fun little project.
Yeah, that sounds like that'd be fun. I actually, what's funny is one of the tips from Wonder Man I actually was using in class and shit, and it was Trevor saying, it's like, breathe all the air out before you do it. And when I was like starting class and everything, that was like the first thing that popped in my head, where I'm just like, and just being able to trust myself. And except for this past week, I was able to usually get him in a couple takes of just doing that. But it's like, yeah, being able to kind of clear your head and just be present as whoever it is that you're, performing as. And so it's like, but yeah, I need to go back and look at that and see what that audition was, because that sounds very interesting, especially with like the world building. And even, if you didn't know it was a Marvel show, I don't think you'd catch it, even with the superpower moments.
No. Yeah, but you know what's funny? There's one thing we haven't talked about yet.
I was about to ask you about it. The Doorman episode.
Doorman episode.
Okay, I was gonna ask you about that in a second, but you got to it. So, what do you think about Doorman?
I love that episode. So much. It's like, and it's funny because I got to watch the show a couple weeks before it came out, and even watching those first four, I was buzzing immediately, and I was like so excited for the world to see the show, because I was like, I felt something with this, and that was the note we ended on watching it. And even as I was watching it, I was like, oh, this is special, this is different, this is Marvel's version of a season 3 Atlanta episode.
Yeah,
and
it was really well done.
It's extremely fucking well done. And the way you were able to capture not only the tragic downfall of this guy and his choices, but also how the world responded to him, and tie that individual story in to something that influences and affects our main character in Simon, was genius and a brilliant a stroke of brilliance. Um, yeah, the fact that it was in all black and white, that there was some
Mm-hmm.
humor to it, but it was also a tragedy as well, in the sense that he was a guy who wasn't even looking for this power. He wasn't even looking. He was happy as
No.
a doorman, and he was trying to do the right thing, still being a doorman even after finding his powers.
Mm-hmm.
And then Josh Gad gives him some money to be a guard, and then puts him in the movie, and then he leans into the limited perception of what his power is, rather than his innate ability as
Mm-hmm.
a whole person. And then and from there he becomes a caricature, and then he's unhappy, and
Yeah.
he's drinking, and then because they pushed him, or in part, gotta have some accountability here. He did want to take the money, but also,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the system spit him out and then blacklisted him, and in the same
Mm-hmm.
sense that Simon was a man trying to be something other than himself, and pay the price for that. It goes to show, if Trevor didn't step in, if somebody had stepped in for Doorman, the way that Hollywood just spits black men out who get some semblance of notoriety so quickly,
Yep.
even with Will Smith, after 30 years, he makes a mistake, a very
Woo.
public mistake. Gone. Good 30 years of goodwill
Boom.
out the fucking door.
Yep. Even with accountability.
Even with accountability. Listen, it sucks. We don't know who the fuck Josh Gad is, and
Okay. Do you think Josh Gad is dead?
I don't think he's dead. No.
Okay, I kind of don't either. I think he's gone.
He's just gone.
It'd be tough to get him back, but yeah.
We also don't know when the doorman thing happened. Which is why.
Yeah, like in retrospect to time period, because it's like we know that it's after the release of Frozen.
Yeah,
because they sing
Frozen. That song "Summer" is Frozen from Summer. Frozen 1 is that song from Frozen 1 or Frozen 2?
I think it's from Frozen 1.
Okay. Because it's my headcanon that the doorman incident happened either as around the time or right before the snap, and Josh Gad getting taken into the dimension saved him from the snap.
He's trapped in the darkness forever, but he didn't get snapped.
But like he comes out after secretly. I don't know, or he landed somewhere else.
Yeah, because it's like they and it's such a double-edged sword too with like Doorman's story. Even the way that we're sort of flattening his identity by not calling him his government name, partially because it's late and I don't remember it.
DeMar.
Yeah, DeMar. Thank you. But it's like the fact that a whole rule set was drafted after one actor disappeared because of one black man. Like, it's on the one hand, it's like, every rule has a story to why like this specific, it's like you go to a place, it's like, hey, no dinosaur t-shirts. It's like, the fuck does that, what was the story behind that? But also it's like one black guy makes a grievous error that cost somebody their perceived life, and now no one with powers can work in the industry.
Right.
Just like that's literally discrimination.
Yep.
Discrimination in the arts at that, which is fucking nuts. So it's like a whole discrimination law because Josh Gad disappeared. No, y'all were looking for a reason. Y'all were looking for any reason possible. Don't get me wrong. Josh Gad is cool, but
also, and the part we're not talking about, there is a little bit of, I don't want to be that nigga,
right?
Because I don't want to.
That's it. Ew.
Yeah, I was like, Yeah, and I hate that. But I did get some of that. Like, I don't want to be like him. The fact that they're both black
Mm.
makes me think that way. But
Yeah, definitely amplifies it.
but you know what's funny? I think that I love the choice to make Simon black, and I feel like they justify it within the narrative because of his culture and
Mm-hmm.
and his dad. And I love the
Mm-hmm.
fact that, listen, it just goes to show stories just like fucking Wonder Man are one, why not why we have a multiverse, but why we have adaptation, because
Yes.
you can enhance the premise through adaptation, through pure pure narrative and creative intention, and
Mm-hmm.
you don't need to have something that is quote unquote comic accurate for it to be good, for it to be interesting. Like, for example, fucking
The writing has to be good.
the writing has to be good. That's what it comes down to. At the end of the day, we live in a multiverse. You want your
Mm.
classic white Simon Williams, who's a copy of Vision, that exists out there. Go read that.
Yeah.
But
We already got those books and TV shows. But sorry, what were we saying?
no, it was one of those things where it was so good. I forgot that Eric's brother is supposed to be Grim Reaper, but it doesn't even matter.
I I did remember that, but I'm just like, huh. Well, I mean, he's reaping his ass across the coals, but
Yeah, I think he's like in construction or like insurance or some shit like that.
yeah,
But it doesn't even matter because I'm invested in this version of those characters, and I don't even need Simon to be a comic book hero if they don't want him to be.
no, no. I'm much more interested in Simon's like artistic journey. Don't get me wrong. It would be fun to see like maybe like a variant Simon that does actually do a reverse Jet Jackson, where it's like, hero by day, actor by later on in the afternoon. To see him use his ionic powers, because the fact that they made him that fucking busted, like the fact that one of the most powerful people on Earth is a black dude in LA that's just like walking around, similar with my girl Photon, Monica Rambeau, like thunderously, dangerously, criminally powerful, trapped in another dimension, but still fucking nuts and can like cast herself along the light spectrum. But no, phenomenal show, start to finish. Already one of my tops of the years. It was a major surprise. I had no idea where this could possibly go, but this gives me a lot of hope for Daniel Destin Cretton's Spider-Man movie that we got, with Brand New Day. We didn't talk about Brand New Day. We're not going to talk about Brand New Day.
Was there a talk?
Not today. There were leaks, but we can just wait till the official thing comes out and talk about it then.
Yeah.
Great show. Highly recommend. Is there anything else before we close out?
No. Fuck ICE. Fuck Trump.
Yep.
Go watch Wonder Man. If you haven't, go tell your friends to watch Wonder Man. If you have, keep spreading the word about Wonder Man. And yeah, we'll keep you posted and talk about the trailers we talked about when they're actually released in full theatrical glory. And
where can people find you at?
You can find me at The Real Aaron Alexander on Instagram. You can find me at The Real, as in film reel, Aaron Alexander on TikTok. And you can find me over at The Real Rejects. Where can I find you? And you have anything you want to say?
They can find me on Instagram at Threads at Will the Greatest. They can find me on YouTube at Will the Greatest. Technically, they can find me on TikTok at Will.thegreatest. Oh, this was something that I forgot to mention up top that was really cool. My script, I put it in a couple competitions. I didn't win, sadly, but I did get a finalist in one and a semifinalist in two. And so the one I got a finalist in, I did an interview for. So I posted that interview on my threads if anyone wants to read it. About if you want to know about my writing style and how I got there. Mind you, this is my first script. It's just gone through a metric shit ton of edits, and being receptive to feedback. But my sister had to remind me to be not only proud of the progress, but even if you don't win, the fact that you're able to place can be a little bit of a confidence booster. I'm like, oh yeah, it's like I was maybe more preoccupied with like, damn, I didn't get this, versus like I made this farther than some others did, which was very humbling but also exciting. But I got a plan for the shit I'm gonna do. But yeah, that's where you can find me at. Don't forget to like and comment and subscribe and share with your people and friends and all that jazz. It's fuck ICE, fuck Trump and his administration, fuck white supremacy.
That part.
Happy Women's History Month.
Yeah.
Happy Black History Month.
Yeah.
Read a book.
Please do.
Be kind to one another. And we outie. Bye.
Adios.